Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 149 of Peace Talk. This is the Peace Dealer, and we got the ascended self himself. Hank, what it do, brother?
Oh man, I'm so excited to be here and talk with you and be a part of Mystical Illuminations first and foremost. But even more so, I'm really happy to be able to connect with others on such a huge scale and such a great, incredible time. So I really just want to say thank you so much, Michael, for allowing me to be a part of Mystical Illuminations and work with you. It's been a pleasure and an honor, for sure.
No, definitely. And I remember my first impression of you was definitely, knowing you were an Aries too. Like you brought a lot of the fire, and I really liked your enthusiasm and like your zeal. And I can say, you haven't waned off at all. You've definitely kept consistent to that. And we're definitely grateful to have you, bro. Definitely does feel more like you're adding on to like a superhero group when we had the fire expert on the click. So that's what's up. And
Always, man.
and so for those who are curious, first I was going to ask you where you're at, but what's your sun, moon, and rising?
So my sun is Aries, my moon is Sagittarius, and my rising is also Sagittarius. I am triple fire. That's what I do. That's what I bring fire to everything that I do, everywhere I go,
Yeah.
including when I have my coaching sessions. I bring in my fire enthusiasm. Whenever my clients leave out of my sessions, they always leave with a burst of energy. It's just a fact.
Beautiful. And where are you based in?
I'm based in California.
Awesome.
Born and raised.
My bad. I didn't think I put the relevant links, but I did. They're down there. So
Perfect.
that's what's up. Other than that, yeah, you said you were raised in Florida?
California.
California.
Yeah,
Okay.
other Sunshine State.
Right. Oh, okay. So they're both known as the Sunshine State?
Kind of, yeah. Honestly, like California is known as the Sunshine State, and Florida is, I think it's like the Orange State, but like they both basically are like, I feel like they're like almost like polar opposites of each other because they both like are like sun related. Like
Yeah.
you get the oranges. Like where I grew up in specifically, I grew up in Riverside, California.
Right.
So to those of you who don't know, it's like just orange groves for like miles everywhere. Like I used to run around there when I was a kid. I used to
Riverside?
Yeah, Riverside. Yeah, I used to adventure out there. Actually, me and Esco talked about it before because we actually live pretty close to each other. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually knew each other when we were kids
Wow.
because we were able to connect really quick. But that's a completely side
Because
story.
he's from Cali too.
Yeah. He's from
Right.
LA, but like he also spent some time in Riverside and some other places as well. But yeah, when I was a kid, I used to like run around in the orange groves and stuff, especially at nighttime when I got older. Just did some fucking weird things, being silly, looking for spirits. Wasn't safe, but I'm safe still. So I was ready for whatever was gonna jump out at me for sure.
By the way, do you mind shifting your head to the side a little bit? No, like your actual head to see what chair you're sitting on.
Oh, right here. I'll just actually get up real quick. Yeah, so I got this chair back in July of 2020. And it's crazy because like I think like maybe like a week or two afterwards, you got the same chair. And I don't know who got it at first, but like it was a weird comparison. I remember watching one of the ceremonies and I was like, holy fuck, is that my chair? That can't even be right.
And like I was sitting on a trash can when I
No.
was like, I need a chair. And
Yeah.
then boom, someone hit me up like, oh, I'm moving my girlfriend out of town. You want to buy a chair? I was like, yes, this is it. I didn't even, and bam, he dropped it off. Shout out to you, B. Really cool cat. He actually came and visited me while I was out here. The guy who hooked me up with a chair, he was really dope. So yeah, and shout out to you too, Hank. I'm really grateful for you too. It's really awesome to see y'all come into your Saturn return, and we know you have Saturn in Aquarius.
Yes,
so
sir.
what's that been like for you?
Oh man. I kind of want to like tie it in. Like, before I even start talking about it, I'm not an astrologer, but I do a lot of research with astrology. I feel like if you want to know the cheat codes to life, you better learn how to read your chart. You don't need to read anybody else's chart, but you do need to learn how to read your own chart. And like, I guess the best way to describe it is, I feel like my Saturn return with Aquarius has a lot to do with my Chiron and Leo, because like Chiron and Leo is the wounded talent. They feel like they're not quite seen correctly. I know that's generational, but I feel like that really like resonates with like where my Saturn return has been up to this point. Like, not to toot my own horn, but like I like to think that like I am fucking slaying my Saturn return. It's been
Yo,
rough.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
It's been rough. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like I've been putting a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of pain, a lot of self discovery. Like these past from, I want to say, and we talked about it a little bit already prior in one of the readings that Michael's gotten me. And the side note, if you ever wanted a reading or thought about getting a reading from this man right here, I 1000% highly recommend it. I did made a Yelp review for you, actually. I think I remember, and I made sure to drop that in there too. I was like, if you're thinking about it, just fucking do it, because like your readings, amazing. But let's see, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So my Saturn return. It was a little rough, but like with a combination of like as a life coach, I also get life coached. So I have quite a few fellow life coaches that I go to, and I life coach them, they coach me. And honestly, like I've been a life coach for quite some time, but recently I decided to put in a lot of effort into really developing my skills as a coach. I put in time, lots of money. I put in a whole year dedicated to like really polishing my skills, and that I started October 2020, and now it's October 2021, and I've finished basically everything when it comes to like my schooling. And if it wasn't for coaching and like a little bit of therapy, like I probably would be having a really rough time with my Saturn return. But I've done a lot of work. A lot of it was like parental stuff that I had to work through, some own like personal stuff that I had to go through. And it's really cool being a life coach while going to therapy, because while you're going and moving through like therapy, like therapy is really meant to like get down and dirty into like what's holding you back, in a way, kind of like the things and the pains and the hurts in the past. That's kind of like the difference between therapy and life coaching. Life coaching is helping people that are stuck move forward, while as therapy focuses more on people who are stuck in like their past, and to help them heal so they can get into a place where they'd like to move forward. And then the life coach basically kind of takes some steps up at that point to help move them forward. While I was in therapy, I was literally creating action steps and coaching myself while I was in therapy at the same time. So I was able to like do the work of what would probably take 3 years in a matter of a month or two. So it's been pretty awesome. I've gotten quite a few rewards. I always tell people, if they're going through their Saturn return, like it can be like one of the worst experiences in your life, or it could be one of the most rewarding.
Yep.
Because like if you do the fucking work, then like you're gonna be rewarded so hard, especially by the time you come out. Like my Saturn return, I think, started was like February, March, or April or May. I can't remember when exactly it like
Around
officially
that
started.
period, though.
Yeah. And it like ends in February 2023. But like like so far up to now, like the rewards I've received have been monumental in my life. Like it's been life changing. I mean, I've connected with Michael. Like when I first found Michael, I've only been watching Michael for about a year. And like from the get go, my fiance, which is really good friends with Michael.
Shout out to Moni.
We, she showed me him. She did a ritual for her and me, and she's like, you got to check this guy out. He is the real fucking deal. And we'd been in our spiritual walk for like several years at that point together. And like she's my divine partner, and I was like, okay, I'll check out his stuff. And like every single time, from like the weedness to the silliness to like being shirtless, because apparently we have that in common. I gotta get you that massage oil. I promise. I forgot who I promised, but I'm gonna get you that massage oil for sure. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make a little slip and slide one day video, the peace slide. But but like I was like, I'm gonna be friends with this guy, and I'm gonna be on a peace talk, and I manifested that in like under a year. Y'all can't tell me, and that's from me doing the work and like creating a brand. Because like when I came to Michael, we were talking, and we were on Instagram, and I was like, I was like, I really want to connect with them. It was right when you were like, we're getting Mystical Illuminations back together. So all of you guys who are readers or like not readers and you guys want to be a part of this, like hit me up. And I was like, okay. And I was already thinking prior, I was like, I want to do something with Michael, but I want to make sure I come to him the right way. And when he mentioned that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I messaged him and I was like, hey, this is basically what I'm willing, what I want to do with you, how I want to work. And he was like, yeah, man, like we can always use a life coach. Like I mean, Michael, you're basically trying to create like a super team to help the world. That's like the plain and simple. That's what Mystical Illuminations is all about. Literally mystically unilluminating the unseen, I guess you could say, within people. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And after that, Michael's like, yeah, let's see what you can do. And here we are, you know? So yeah, man, it's been quite an interesting ride. But like I said before, from all the work I've been doing and all the time and effort I put into it, like this Saturn return has been amazing. Like low key, I feel like this is what I've been waiting all my life for. It's like
Right. That's what
this
the
Saturn
Saturn
return
feels like.
Yeah, I was like, man, why was I even dealing with all this bullshit? Why was I dealing with all these these shitty situations and these like mindsets that were holding me back? Like in like a perfect world, like if I knew back in the day, like where I would be at today, back in the day, like I would have been like, dude, don't even worry about it. Don't even hang out with those people. They don't even know who you really are.
Right.
But yeah.
I feel like it being an Aquarius just makes it so much more intense too, and
yes,
adds more to that responsibility. So all power to 91, 92, 93, all of y'all. And what, as a life coach, do you believe is a life coach?
That's a great question. So funny enough, that is actually what being a great life coach is all about. Questions. Asking the perfect questions. I think Geminis, like just like a side note, are like the best, would probably be the best life coaches as long as they can hold their tongue back. But like questions is like really what like powers life coaching, because from where I was trained through a program called Journey. It's a great program if anybody's ever considered going into life coaching, or if they are currently a life coach and want to develop their skills. I highly recommend going through them. They have lots of different ways they can do it, but like they're building a community of life coaches that like want to help other people and are like open to like always learning. I actually had the privilege to go to I had like a recording session. They asked me to come in and like do a like basically video review, and I was actually in a room full of like several like life coaches. There's maybe like 20 or 30 of us. It was like the most incredible situation because everyone's just asking questions, listening intently, and like having like real like solid conversations. And that's what life coaching is all about. My job as a life coach is not to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing right. I'm here to work with you to where you want to get to. My life coaching sessions usually starts off with like me talking to people and being like, hey, like, what is it that you'd like to do? Like, what would you like today's focus to be? And all that certain different things. And we go from there. I don't tell you what to do. I just ask more questions. I have an actual conversation with you. And this provides space for you to come up with ideas. It sounds really, really simple and almost like, well, why would I want to go to you when I could just do that with myself? Well, have you ever tried having a conversation with yourself? Like truly sat down and have a conversation with yourself without unbiased and without feeling like dumb for it. And basically that's what life coaching is about. Like when I come into life coaching sessions, I'm there to work with you and the coaches that I also work with as well. Like we are taught that, you know, the person is the best, the individual, the client who comes to you, they're the best architect of their own life. Plain and simple, because we are all unique beings. We're all different and special and unique. And the only person that can truly, truly help you in the long term is yourself. Because at the end of it, like who's there with you, which kind of goes into the workshop that I've been working on. But like, who's going to be there? Like if the government's not there, if you don't have a connection to like your family, if you don't have money, if you don't have a job, like truly, like who's going to be there for you? At the end of the day, it's just yourself. Like if you get stuck in prison, you know, who's going to be there for you? Yourself.
Yeah, that's so
It's
true.
not, it's not the warden. And if you have a strong connection to yourself, then you're fucking unstoppable. Who can stop somebody that their best friend is themselves? Point blank, period. And that's what my coaching practice is all about. Like, and that's why I'm a ascended leader coach, basically. Like I want to help encourage people to learn about themselves to the point where they don't need anybody to lead them, because at the end of the day, you don't need a leader. You don't need a government to tell you what to do. You don't need somebody to like truly lead you to whatever it is that you need to go to or the goals that you have. All you need is yourself. If you have the confidence in yourself to lead yourself, then you don't need anything. You don't need anybody.
So
And that's
true.
how we get up to the 5D. If we're leading ourselves and we're leading ourselves with love, then we can show love back to other people. And then at that point, we create a utopia. Obviously, that sounds at least that's one of the things that I'd like to see. And I think we totally have it, especially nowadays. Like there's so many people that are waking up, and there's so many people that are willing to like really do the work and become like that ascended leader of themselves to help lead themselves. I just think it's really, really cool. We live in an exciting time right now. Dangerous, but exciting.
I like that you acknowledged it's dangerous.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
Because it really goes a long way towards just, taking into account how we're expanding, right? Yes. But there is the consequence of all this connectivity and technology. And it's like stepping into this power also means balancing and protecting, those who are still stepping into their power and balancing the light and the dark. So I am fascinated by your archetype because the Sag Moon Aries Sun is literally the ascended self. It's the ascended individual. And that you're that soul ascension and teacher. You're personifying more with your ascended soul self. And it's like you can see the higher self of any individual and guide them to there. And you and I just had a life coaching session. And, I can say from the 9 sessions we've done so far, just the accountability alone has been definitely very helpful, which ironically was what I was running away from, because I didn't want an accountability partner at first, especially when I first signed up, because you had like the transformation. So I thought it was going to be like a 1-2 session thing that you like show me the secrets of transformation, and then it started to look like accountability, and I was like, oh no, I have to actually get my shit together. But it definitely has been more than helpful, and just a good return to self, which is also awesome too.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate those loving words. I really, really appreciate it. You've been an awesome client. All my clients are awesome because like they're willing to do the work. But yeah, talking more on it. I don't know if you mind me like talking a little bit about it.
Go ahead.
I appreciate it. So also confidentiality is my utmost importance. I would never say anything about me working with Michael. But if he says it himself, that's fair game. So that's another quick thing. The way I do it is very similar to therapy when it comes to like the privileges of confidentiality. So that's just another tidbit about what I do for my coaching practices specifically. But when Michael first came in, I remember he came in and he was like, yeah, let's see what's going on. Let's try it out. And, I start talking to him. We start working on this stuff. And he's like, oh, we're not doing this just once. And I was like, no.
Right. Exactly.
I was like, coaching takes time. It takes, some people take a year. I have clients that I've been working with for like almost a year straight, and we're still working on stuff because it takes time. Like it really is what you put in is what you get out. But it was really funny because like he was like, oh, I didn't expect it to be multiple. He's like, I didn't expect accountability, buddy. Funny enough, one of the things we talked about, one of the sessions was him finding an Aries woman, and I told him, I was like, well, I can't be the Aries woman. I can't do what you might need me to do for you on the side.
No, I never even told you about finding an Aries woman. You just intuitively knew that's what I needed. I was like, yo, that's crazy. How did he know? I didn't even it's like you made me realize, oh, okay. I'm being set up here. That's what's up.
It's okay. But honestly, Michael, you're great. Like really, and you'd be surprised. Like it sounds like a lot of work. But yeah, you could honestly, a personal trainer of the soul. I really like that actually. That's kind of almost like that. But yeah, it's really, really fun. Michael puts in a lot of work. It's hard. He's got that Cat Moon. You got that Taurus rising. You don't want to do work because you already have all the resources. You don't need to do the work, but you're choosing to because that's your responsibility. That's your duty, and that's amazing.
And I like that you framed it like that. Still learning to practice staying sharp. Even if you're a master, you still got to practice every day and to keep that mastery, right? And get into that part, but. And shout out to Sanchia, currently completing her life
Yeah,
coach
I was
certification.
about to say that. I was on a separate chat before, so I haven't had a chance to. Do you guys? Yeah, we do have the same chair, Starstream. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that's really really cool, Sanchia. Like that. Congratulations on that. I'm actually in the process of getting my ICF International Coaching Federation accreditation. They're very strict with their rules. So if you're about to go in to do that, I highly encourage you to do it. Obviously, like a side note, life coaching is not a regulated um, like career kind of thing. It is
Right.
in some countries, but not in the US.
Okay.
Those that choose to go and get their coaching certification and those that are getting their accreditation, they do that because they want to show that like they know how to do what they need to do. They want to show that they've done the work
And
and
they're
how
not just some life coach that's just
exactly.
popping up, right, and calling
Yeah.
themselves.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with like doing that because there's some people that are just great at it,
And
but
they're
like
legit, right?
yeah, absolutely. But the International Coaching Federation specifically, they have like a set of standards and ethics, and we have to follow those. And honestly, the most important I think of those ethics is just to be a good fucking human being and just to like listen to the person. Like that's like their number one credo is like let it be client directed. So everything that we do, even Michael can attest to it. Like when we come into the session, like I ask him, like, what do you want to talk about this week? You know, we could continue on from the following week,
Yeah,
but
for
maybe
sure.
something changed. You know, maybe his cat was having puppies. You know, maybe he grew another penis. Like who knows? Shit like that happens all the time, and things are getting crazy. He's a Gemini. He probably does already. Who knows? But
My twin is growing in. Oh my god. It was
this
Ghost
whole
for so
time, the
long.
whole time we thought his twin flame was gonna be himself, but instead it was gonna be a second dick. But
Now I'm double the asshole. than I normally was. That's crazy. And yeah, I would hope to. That what you said is something that I want to see. It's happening right now, but I would
yes,
like to play a part in happening for astrology, where like we
oh
have a
yeah,
federal because there's conferences and there are a group of
yes,
people, but we need to take that step to now have an official board that can like accreditate astrologers
yeah,
and like give out myself included. I'll fall under the same standard and
of
do
course.
what I gotta do to if I because I don't think I need a certificate,
No,
but it would be cool to establish that where I'm actually doing an astro psych course for a 2-year
interesting.
diploma. Shout out
Nice.
to how can I shout out to Glenn Perry, genius. He's actually a PhD in psychology, and I recommend that course. But yeah, it really does speak to a life coach to take the extra step and do that. I didn't think it was needed for Reiki either, but like I can respect someone who takes the steps to get the certification. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it just shows like your dedication. Like I can surely because I've been coaching for like 4 years or so, give or take. But honestly, like when peer to peer therapy, nice. When I when I was coaching beforehand, before I went to get the certifications and the accreditation courses, because it took, like I said, about a year to complete. I was doing life coaching, but it wasn't like quite the same as how I do it now.
mm,
And now, like before, like I was coaching on the side. Now I am a life coach, and that's my career path. That
yeah,
is like who I am, and I'll be doing that for the rest of my life. You know, the 2 or 3 or 400 so out years I'll be on this planet.
that's awesome. That's so awesome. And we know, okay, so your MC would be more Virgo too, or like Libra.
It is, yeah. It's I'm pretty sure my MC is. Hold on, let me get my chart up. See, I told you I'm not an astrologer. a
Man,
real astrologer would know.
type it in Google. It is such a good course. You can get the whole year course for like 1,000, or you can get like
That's pretty good.
it's 6 classes a year, and each class is like $295. Or
Not
you
bad.
can get the whole course. It's so good. It's the best course I've ever taken in my life.
That's
It's
a
so
great
good.
idea. And
Yeah.
if I was gonna be maybe in a couple hundred years, I'll switch into astrology.
No, but like if you did
Yeah.
decide to go in, that would be the right place to start. It's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
yeah.
What is it? Goku. I like your energy.
Yeah, Son Goku
Can you
becoming
feel it? Can
no,
you
he said
feel it?
Vegeta too. Send me your energy.
Can you feel me send my energy? But yeah, my MC is in Libra.
Libra. So you're a
Yeah,
leader. You're a leader. And
yeah.
you bring together artists. And I think life coaching energy with Libra is so perfect because Libra specializes in
And my
taking
Jupiter.
and your Jupiter's there too. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And Libra specializes in taking like the raw nature of someone's character and polishing it. Like that fashion makeover show, that's some Libra shit. Like, or the montage and someone has raw talent, but then after the montage, like they can perform on stage. Like that's some Libra shit. So it's really dope. Like polishing and bringing out the more classic persona of somebody. I see you looking fresh too, Libra MC.
I try. Like, honestly, like it used to get me bullied a lot growing up, but not by like young people. It was like adults. They gave me like the hardest shit. Yeah, like they'd be like, "Oh, you're gay," and I was like, "Just because I like take care of myself." No, it's true. Like all the time. Like my boss used to be like,
Backhanded compliment too.
always you're like,
Like,
"You're gay," and I'm just like, "I'm gay because I take a shower." Damn. Like, are the standards really that low? Fuck.
No, I really appreciate that too, because there's a more, I feel too, it's also, I think maybe because of where our Mercuries are, like the way we might express our voice might sound a bit more feminine.
Because we're balanced.
No, and I don't even mean like a woman, or
Yeah.
just as far as like not having that like deeper masculine chorus. I think like
Mm.
I think it can come off to some people like airy fairy, and what they need to realize is that a fairy will fuck you up. Like, 'cause you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So, and exactly what I mean about that.
I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm in that shower. That's how low the standards are. What is it?
But you would sense they'd say that just because of how you dressed and how you
Yeah,
cleaned yourself, and that was
the way
back
I spoke, because I was proper.
right.
I came at people the correct way, and apparently, like that's weird.
And
That
being
apparently that's
black
weird.
too, bro.
Go.
Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't sound like this, or if you don't
Mhm.
talk with a certain accent, like my whole life in high school, like black people will walk up to me, my fellow black people will look at me
Mhm.
like I'm an
Yeah.
archaic, also like, why do you talk so proper? And like they're not trying to be rude, they're not trying to be, they're like dead ass like
Yeah.
perplexed. Like, why are you speaking with good like think how funny that is. Like in retrospect, it's like, why do you speak with good grammar? Imagine like being told that, and I'm like, wait, am I supposed to fuck up my English? And meanwhile, and this is in high school, and meanwhile, like you're seeing the person be genuinely
Yes.
shocked, like they're not even trying to make fun of
No,
you.
no, they're like confused. They're like, "What the fuck are
As
you?"
fuck,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
what
They're
the
like,
fuck are you?
"You can't
Exactly.
be
Like,
black
who's
because of
this alien?
the fucking standards that the elites put out for black people." Like you have to if you're not walking with like a cup of Kool-Aid and fucking fried chicken.
No, 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 no. Even white people too.
Yeah,
Because like
it's so
especially at the
sad. It's
tourist
so fucking
rising.
sad.
Honestly, it's sad, but I appreciate it because it's hilarious.
Mhm.
Especially if you think of the irony. Like especially I got the tourist rising. So like I won't say anything and people are expecting like a certain thing, and I open my mouth and then I sound all proper. And even white people are like, whoa, like you sound whiter than me. And they feel like they'll be trying to see if they can say the N word and shit. Like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah, yeah. They're like, well, maybe
Tyrone would whoop my ass, but maybe Michael could be my token black guy. And it's like,
maybe he'll shuck and jive for me with me in front of me if I give him a nice little tip or something, you know? Maybe, oh
I
yeah, yeah,
remember I
man.
was so naive in college. Like I joked about it. It was
Yeah.
cool, but like my Jewish friends in college and that crowd, they're like, they picked out my Halloween costume. I was
No.
token. But
No.
that Halloween, we all wore like stereotypes.
Okay,
So,
okay. Well, you
right,
guys
yeah,
were doing it in a group. I mean, if you guys are gonna do bad together, you know.
right.
Plus, I mean, there's like obviously it's okay to have a little fun. Like you gotta play around with
I
it.
knew
You
what they
know.
were doing. So I didn't mind being token. It was what it was. But
Yeah.
yeah, in retrospect, it was like that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I feel that too. Like the sound, and then also how you carry yourself, especially back then, where like dressing well would get you called metrosexual or something
Yeah.
like
What the fuck? Who
that.
came up with that?
So
Why do they have to come up with like names? Like why
it
can't it
was
just be
back when
you?
it was
So
back when
sad.
us dusty niggas ruled the world.
Uh,
When men were allowed to be dusty. Remember when men were allowed to be dusty as hell, and that was like a good thing. Now everyone's all
it
fashion,
was, yeah, yeah. Now,
hygiene conscious.
yeah. If you're not walking out with a skirt as a male, there's something wrong with you.
Right. It's crazy. You don't have nail polish on your head?
Yeah.
Shout
God.
out to Yachty. I mean, he's a genius
Oh
for
yeah.
putting that line there. I feel like people like Cuddy who wear dresses, Cuddy's an alien, so like he
Yeah,
just wants to troll your society. He doesn't give a fuck about wearing dresses. He knows that he can raise awareness doing that though, and he knows that people will talk about it, just like people will talk about Kanye's haircut. So it is what it
absolutely.
is.
I think people put too much emphasis on it. You know, I think like what's wrong with it? Like either you do it or you don't. Like what is it? Why does it matter? Like just if that's how you feel comfortable. Like I have a couple friends that have polished nails that are guys. I'm like, yeah, do it. Like it looks nice. I'll compliment them. I was like, that looks nice. I won't do it just because like I'll ruin them and I'm just like not my thing. But like it's to each his own. Like if you come out in a skirt, like fuck it.
You
Like
know,
if
to
that's how
each
you
his
feel,
own. It's
yeah,
just the
absolutely.
extent to where
It's
the extent to where you push that agenda onto other people's
yeah,
lives.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Same
The
with being
social
straight. Same with
social
being straight too.
norms.
Like pushing regular gender roles. So it applies to everybody. But yeah, I mean, to each his own. I feel like anyone should have the ability to do what they want within reason. You know, as long as it doesn't affect other people. But Sanchia, I'm
I,
telling you, the golden ages. It was there was a time where it was okay to be dusty as
it
hell.
was, yeah, yeah.
Everybody was
That was like
dusty.
in the 50 Cent era, right?
Well, well, no. See, 50 was still kind of fly, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like the
50
Timberlands and the big oversized tees and all that.
Yes,
But like, I mean, there were the golden ages
I
when
remember.
men.
I used to rock the South Pole shirts.
Right,
The
right,
logo
right, right.
jeans.
Yo, can you believe that our past is now a trend to high schoolers? Like
Oh
they
yeah,
played us out for a day. Like we used to live this, motherfuckers. Like what the hell? We're not just some trend, okay? Like get the hell out.
oh, that
We're not
reminds
just
me. Go.
playing with it. Not with it.
There's a
You remember that?
there's this TikToker, and it's like what's this like a 90s early 2000s like hood dude, and he like gets set into like this year, and like he comes in and he has like South Pole, he has like mixed like actual like printed out mixed CDs, and he like goes to the gas station, he's like, where am I? He's like, why are people like where's the MP3 players? And like it's all on the phone. He's like, what are you talking about? It's funny as fuck. I need to send that to you. Remind me to send that to you after this live because it's
Oh,
funny as hell. You crack up laughing.
yes, that
But
is.
anyway.
It ended up all being on our phone. That's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll end up on my phone. Interesting.
So wild. An app for everything. So yeah, bro. Let tell us about your journey. You know, you told
Oh
us
wow.
that you were a life coach before you were a life coach. Life coach.
Yes,
So what inspired you to get into that, and how did you really step onto this path?
that's a great question, and I'm really glad you asked that. So this is going to be kind of a medium to long story of like how I came to be. Like growing up, I grew up with a single mom. Dad was kind of in the picture. He helped out here and there, but growing up was kind of a little rough. Like a lot of things changed. I had like a tower moment at a very early age. I was like 8 or 9. Like everything was good until then. Some shit happened to me. It really fucked me up. Really fucked up my relationship with my father. That's something I actually had to work on for my Saturn return because I was like literally told by I could call my guys my mentor. My mentors literally told me like you gotta take care of him and your mom as well. I already take care of her, but basically what ended up happening like just growing up, I just like had like a lot of like self-esteem issues, and at a certain point in time, like it affected me like very really harshly. I want to say like the first roughest time when I was younger until I got older, but the second roughest time was like right out of high school. So I graduated high school. Within 2 months, my mom had a stroke. And it turned out that she actually had this thing called encephalitis, which is autoimmune disorder, which we didn't find out until like 2 years later because, you know, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. I didn't have a lot of money growing up. She didn't have a lot of money. She was a single parent working the jobs and stuff. So she kind of worked herself to like stress to the point where like she literally had a stroke and ended up in a really dark place. So like I had to take care of her. So I had to drop out of college and was taking care of her. I was working 2 jobs for several years. At one point, because I was not taking care of myself and because I had 3 previous relationships back to back to back, where like when I was like 19, I had a relationship where I was engaged at one point before the current engagement that I have with my actual perfect and amazing wife. But she ended up actually like it was just really toxic, and what ended up happening towards the end is like she actually ended up cheating on me like a week before my birthday. And then
Damn.
after that, it was just bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship. Like all of them, all the women cheating on me. I'm not a cheater, never cheated in my life. Really proud to say that, but I've been cheated on. And it's also partially my fault. I can say that today because like I allowed that energy to come into me because that's what I thought was okay. And because of that, like
Like, you
it
saw
was,
the red flags, but you still just kind of kept going.
I just kept on going, you know, I just let it happen. So um back in 2014, like that's when I had like this big moment where a lot of shit happened. I was working a job and I was like getting really fat. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, Gemini DC. How'd you know, Lilac? You're on fire.
Right.
But so I was working at a job that I was just kind of wasting away. I was really like heavy. I was eating like I was eating fast food because I was working at a job that literally required me to drive like up and down like Southern California. Like I was doing crazy hours. I was probably working like 12, 13, 14 hours driving from like Riverside to Temecula to Redlands to LA and like cleaning restrooms where I was getting fat. So I was trying to take I was trying to take uh caffeine pills to try to like flush my systems out and whatever. And one time, like it just became I was in a really bad place, really dark, and it came to the point where, what's up, Hood Mystic? I
Oh,
came,
nice. What's good,
I
bro?
came, that's that one of my favorite Virgos.
Yeah.
Um,
What's that do right?
so I was in a really dark place, and I just had enough. Enough was enough. I was still taking care of my mom full time, still do to this day. Like she couldn't go back to work after what happened. And I decided I was enough was enough. Something really bad happened. I ended up getting yelled at for a bunch of things, and I ended up taking the whole bottle of Zendrin Pluses. So I took 50 of them, and I tried killing myself. And after that, my mom actually ended up coming in, and she was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And so she took me to the hospital, and by that point, they were like, "It's too late. Like all that caffeine is in your system. You're gonna live or you're not gonna live." So they
Damn.
hooked me up to an IV, and I was up for 24 hours, which just like caffeine like pulsing through my system. Like my heart rate was just like super elevated, and I lived obviously. After that, they actually put me in a 5150 hold. And this is when I actually had my spiritual awakening, which I didn't realize until later on. I ended up going to like the 5150 hospital, and there was this lady that was
What is a
staring at this like
5150?
so 5150 is basically the code for your danger to yourself and everyone around you. They usually do that for people who try to commit suicide, just
Right.
to protect them, keep them safe. And so I went to this place. I went to there's a lot of like people who are like very developmentally like disability, like not in their right minds. Like this is the crazy hospital. And this lady was watching this TV, snow on it, and having a conversation with it, you know. And I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But this is when like my whole life, I honestly want to say, like really changed. I don't know if like she got possessed or channeled or what happened, but she turned her head around to me, looked at me straight in the eye, and was like, "What are you doing here?" Completely calm, like she's speaking gibberish to the TV like moments ago, turned to me and was like, "What are you doing here? You're too good looking and you have too much to do for this world. You need to, you don't belong here."
Wow.
Turn
It's like
right
she
back
came in
around,
character.
and she
Wow.
turned right back around and kept on talking gibberish to the TV that had was just snow. And I was like, what the
Okay,
fuck?
so I need to I have chills all over my body.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Whenever I tell the story, everyone's like, what the fuck?
as angels and exorcists are able to recognize this,
Yes.
scientists, like you'll have certain psychotherapists and scientists who will recognize it, but they're not allowed to speak on it because of
Hmm.
the board of ethics, right? So what you just described was a textbook experience,
Hmm.
in that why crazy people or schizophrenic people
Or not.
channel or
Hmm.
not is
Yeah.
because the critical mind facet, like all of us have a critical mind. So like there's a part of us that holds back our inhibitions versus how we communicate. So people who have a screw loose, they don't they don't keep that. So they're
Yeah.
just pure channeling.
Just
And
a
so
giant
they're
antenna.
it's right. It's so much
Yeah.
easier to speak through people like that, unlike other people who close their minds off since
Mhm.
they're totally open. So you just described somebody being literally possessed,
Yes.
turn to you, and then that's freaking amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. It scared the shit out of me, honestly. I mean, obviously, before I even went to the hold, like I was like, okay, I didn't really know what I was gonna do. Like after I was like sitting there, because I had to be by myself, like in the hospital room with an IV hooked up to me, and so I had to sit with my thoughts. And I was like, I don't want to do this again. Like I don't. This is not who I was, and I felt really bad about it. So after that situation happened, decided I eventually was able to leave like within hours. So that didn't even keep me for very long. So with after that happened, I like sat with myself, and I made a dedication like right there and there. I was like, because I decided to choose to try to take my own life, I'm going to dedicate to the rest of my life on this planet to helping others out of that type of mindset and
Wow,
that
that's
that
so
that
cool.
type of, and so after that, like, you know, I actually, so that's half of the story.
I'm sorry. I'm when you first when you first told me that, like, I remembered.
Yes, I did see light in their eyes.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
deep.
I did. I
When
did.
you first told me that story, I was immediately brought to remember an Aries woman with the Pisces moon who we were walking on the mountains, and she told me she tried to kill herself and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I first noted that both of you were Aries, and I feel like I feel like that's that Pluto square. You know what I mean? Like that
Mm,
unspoken pressure you deal with against the world.
hard.
And Aries, especially as a masculine, is just told to just deal with it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially as a man, not supposed to show your emotions and all that. So, you know, it's amazing how as exalted spirits, you know, God and life is just like, nah, it's not your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like what a lot of
No, it
people
was not.
at all, right? What a lot of people don't realize is that occurrences like this, and I'm sure people realize it. So let me
Yeah.
not say they don't realize it, but like, w- you know, I think it's understated how you're not supposed to survive moments like that. You know
No,
what
you're
I mean?
not.
I think in how casually it's said, it's easy for someone to think, okay, maybe you just got lucky. You know what I mean? But like,
Hmm.
no, like, you know, how many countless people die from these attempts? So it's really crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chris, I'm glad to hear that you are here and alive with us today. Thank you so much. And yeah, no problem with the confirmation. I think it's what's up, Ja? I love you. You're the best. That's my sis right there for
Hmm.
sure. On God. But
On flights.
on flights.
Yep.
But I forgot what's going on that. But yeah, I mean, so I there's a book I read by, I don't know if have you ever heard of Stuart Wilde. I really like his stuff. He's like an old like spiritualist from like the not even the 80s, from like the 50s or 60s back in Australia. And he actually talks about it actually quite often. He actually talks about like just a human experience. Like when we come to this planet, when we reincarnate, you know, there's a piece of our soul that we come here to learn, and that's all about the learning experience. And sometimes like people, when they, you know, try to kill themselves, like that's it, that's sometimes for a lot of people, maybe that's like that is their time to go. They've learned their lesson and it's time for them to come back and figure out again. But it sounds like for me and you and my friend up there, Chris, it wasn't our times yet. That was just the stepping stone. That was our time to basically, that was our tower moment for
Mhm.
sure, to like teach us what we need to do. All right, so that's half of how I got to there. So
Cool.
after I got back and made that dedication, I actually ended up going to, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with cosplay, anime conventions and stuff like that, I was a huge cosplayer since like my high school. So after that happened, I told quite a few of my friends, like really close friends, and they were like completely flabbergasted. Like, I can't believe that's even something you would do. Actually, to be perfectly honest, a lot of them kind of stopped talking to me. Um,
Wow.
yeah, like they kind of like distanced themselves away from me. And I also distanced myself away from them. But one of my friends, he actually was like, "Hey, let's go to this convention." I'd never been to it. It was a really small time convention. And then this is what I met like my first like really important mentor. His name was Robert. And he was in a cosplay. He was cosplaying Korra. Anyway, long story short, I found out about this whole entire like cosplay group called the Pokemon Men, right?
Ooh.
And it was a bunch of muscly men who dressed up as like in cosplay like costumes that were just like basically in booty shorts, like all ripped abs and stuff, which is kind of where Brock Hard came from. That was like a personification of myself, where I became that character to basically help find myself and like find courage. I chalk that up to like at that point in time in my life, like I didn't love myself and I didn't like myself. So when I came to that point, I came to being like the version of I liking myself. That's when became Brock Hard. I started following him. I remember the first day I did it. We were at a convention. I'd been like exercising, kind of working out with this guy for like a couple months, and like I was like, man, like I really wish I had your confidence to like walk around shirtless at these conventions and stuff. And like he was like, yeah, well, just do it. And I was like, oh, but like my body, like I'm ugly and like I'm overweight. And he's all like, no, 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 no. He's like, wait. He's like, first of all, you're not ugly. Second of all, mindset comes first. Everything else comes second. He still doesn't remember that he said this to me because he was fucking drunk at the time. But it was the best advice I ever had up to that point. So that
That
senior
drunk advice be hitting though.
when you're channeling,
Right. What do they say sober thoughts, drunk. Oh, I forgot how the saying.
sober thoughts, and
It's something about like sober thoughts, sober, drunk. It's something about basically when you say it drunk, it's more honest than when you're sober. Something
that's
like
funny as fuck. Yeah. But yeah, so that was at like 2014, 2015, going into 2015 onwards. I thank you, Prosperity Priestess. I appreciate you, and it is all about being you. That's how it is. So I after that whole thing happened, I started following him. I started going to the gym very, very often, started working really, really hard on my body. And I built this confidence where eventually I ended up forming like this party group of cosplayers. And funny enough, like it grew over like a course of time, like over like a year
the
or
saying
two.
is a drunk mind speaks a sober heart.
A drunk mind speaks a sober heart. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, but beautiful. So we're not right now. I just for both me and Michael, we're not encouraging getting drunk and becoming a sage, the drunk sage.
Unless you turn in water to wine, but
that's different. But
Jesus, man, walks over water.
Slips on.
No, we ran out of alcohol. No worry, Jesus man is here.
Jameson.
Hey.
Let me turn the other cheek. So,
like, where is he? Where is he? I don't see him. He's here. He's black?
Yeah, that's how it is. That's exacally.
It should exactly be like that. I don't see him. Wait, he's black? Whoa.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
What do you mean he's black?
Everyone knows he's black. Anyway.
New season series coming soon. Jesus,
I love it. Jesus, man. That's funny as fuck.
We'll call it the Covenant.
The Covenant.
The biblical superheroes.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Moses is over here like, I got you.
Captain Vishnu, Jesus, man.
The ultimate waterbender. I love it. Let's get this done. Hey, you know what? That's what we need to do. We'll get me, you, Colby, and
Sir Allah. We have a coalition of all the religions and shit.
Don't forget Buddha. We gotta get a Buddha too.
Right. And be like, thank you, Jesus. Just like the Family Guy show, thank you, Jesus. And then Vishnu will be like, but it was me. And Jesus will be like, wait, but it was Vishnu. And Vishnu will be like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Right. So after I get into it, this group of partiers, and I was not like the main head at the time. It grew from like maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 people to about 400 or 500 people. And then during 2016, no, this party group that I created, and it was just a bunch of us like fucking around, having a good time, getting as drunk as we could. It started off originally as people like meeting up at conventions to like drink and stuff, and then it turned into just like a straight up party group where we were like partying, and people were still cosplaying, whatever. But at one point in time in 2016, like I ended up getting put in a position where they didn't know what to do and they needed a leader because the original main leader left. So I took the position. So here I am, like not really had any true experience at this point as in the leadership role, like helping lead this like group of like 500 or so like
that's so
like partiers.
MC.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. We were pretty like intense.
A social leader.
But and that's actually where I met my fiance, was at this party group. So this is a side note also to all of you who are looking for your perfect partner. Do what you love, and you're gonna find the person that also happens to be doing what they love.
Told you, y'all.
And then you're gonna find your perfect partner. We've been together for 5 years. 5 years ever since.
You want to find your twin flame, you got to walk your path. That's what
absolutely
Brother Hank was doing. Literally on his path.
Yeah, and it was really funny because when she first met me, like I remember we were doing this thing called Reindeer Boys, where we were just in like furry booty shorts and antlers and all baby oiled up. And like the first time she met me, she told me about this. She's like, she told me that when she first met me, because I was like, hi, I'm Hank, nice to meet you. And then she's a Taurus sun, Aries moon. And she that's the lilac. She's like, what a fuck boy. I was not a fuck boy at the time.
I wanted to save it for later, but I was gonna be like, did she not fuck with you at first, or was it love at first sight? Hold on, that's the best. Like I really appreciate that.
She's right
That's
there in the chat. Moni, you go say hi. Yeah. What ended up happening is like we even like would talk and stuff sometimes. But anyway, so fast forward, like I'm leading this group for about straightforward for a good like chunk of a year, and like me and Moni were like just kind of like talking here and there. Eventually, we ended up getting together. And like she really is like she is like literally my rock, like absolutely. Like I wouldn't be who I am right now if it wasn't for her, like no doubt about it. Like she literally like brought me up, and like she's actually the one that actually told me to become a life coach, because
no
like
way.
that's what I used to do at these parties. Like I would be on everything. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to incriminate myself on live, but I was on a lot of shit, and I was on like, and like mind you, like I was pushing the
The
limits of
real
everything.
life coaching. The
I
real
was it
actual
was
life.
true. It was true. Like I would be at these like parties, like these events in public, because we'd be at conventions. But what our party group was famous for was like we would throw parties in like the middle of like parks. Like we would have stereos, we'd have DJs on deck. Like these were like big like production parties I was organizing in the matter of seconds.
Wow.
Like I remember one time we called it the farmhouse party. And so those of any of you that are going to be a part of my my workshop, I actually have a picture from it with me standing on top of a table and jean assless chaps. Obviously a lot of the things are covered because I don't know if kids are going to be a part of it, but me like leading this thing. What I did was I went to the manager, and I already kind of was building a relationship with them, and I was like, hey, of this hotel that was like really close to the convention center. I was like, hey, it'd be really awesome if like, would it be okay if we like played some music and like hung out here, like kind of like a little like dance and music and stuff. And he's like, yeah, sure. Turned out into a full-on rager in like the middle of this like hotel room. Like the police were coming, people were leaving ambulances because they were so fucked up. We called it farmhouse. Everybody was in like farm attire. Like a lot of the girls were like in like cow bikinis. It was a group effort. It wasn't just me, but I was the one that talked to the hotel guy, the person in charge, and like he was like, yeah, that's not a problem, let it go. I'm not gonna shout his name because I'm pretty sure he got fired from that.
Hope you
But
didn't get fired.
I'm pretty sure he got fired from it.
Man.
Actually, funny enough, weirdly enough, I'd met him like several months prior, because we both had to take a traffic class because we both like to speed. And I made a connection with him. And so I saw him later on. I was like, I know this guy. And I was like, hey, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah, what's up, bro? I was like, hey, we can have a little party. Is it cool? He's like, yeah, I got you, bro. But that's how I make these like weird supernatural connections. And it was lit. Yeah, cons do bring out the freaks. It's very, really true, man. Like I can't tell you how many times I've walked into an orgy at conventions, and I'm that's not
Stop
me.
it.
No, it's true. Oh, I'm fucking serious. Yeah,
like the actual like the what do you call those
cosplays.
The cosplays, right?
Both. Some people be in cosplays, but most of the time they just be naked.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a hotel room at these like convention parties. Just talking about a little bit of it. And like I would like come into like open up the door, and then everybody be like drinking or whatever, like just be a bunch of people, and then all of a sudden like someone drops their pants and is like, who wants to suck my dick? And there'll be like 3 people lined up, and I'll be like, oh yeah, well it's time for me to go. No, I'm telling you, it was really dusty. It sounds a lot more glorious maybe to some people, but like it was fun. I'm not gonna say
it
like
was really dusty.
it was fun to watch, because I remember one time it was like someone's birthday party. It wasn't even the person's birthday who got their dick sucked. They were like, one of the guys was like, hey, I want to suck this guy's dick, and boom, there it was, like dick was out, and everyone's just watching this guy suck this other dude's dick. And like the guy who was getting his dick sucked wasn't even gay. He was just like really fucked up, and he was like, yeah, I'm down to get my dick sucked by a dude. Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, Lilac knows what's up. Yeah, that's exactly. Yes. Yeah, orgies are the orgies were legendary at cons.
He's like, today I'm gonna be gay today, motherfucker.
I don't think he remembers that. It was a wild thing, because like everyone was watching, everyone was like cheering on, like the straight people, the gay people. Honestly,
that was probably the best dick sucking he ever had. Honestly, in his whole life.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw his dick. I didn't see his dick. I just saw the suction just, and then. And everyone's like, "Yeah, good job." That was like
what a normal support group. Like,
yeah.
You can do it. Yeah. There we go.
Anyway, so that's where Moni and I were not the people that would participate that, but like we just were there because like partings and stuff. Like I'm not gonna talk on Moni's past, but like she basically was there because like she was just having a good time, and that's how we ended up meeting. And like we talk about it now, but yeah, with Flog, yeah, all the time. Everybody would just be doing
BDSM and all that.
So mind you, like because I was like trying to push the boundaries of like myself and like my own self like encouragement or whatever, exactly like raves. I would do the same thing like raves. I would try to go out in as little clothing as possible to the point where at one point I was
Even if it's cold.
probably the most intense, like kind of like Voyagers, but I didn't. The way I used to say I was tastefully nude, but it just means I was just like cupping my dick and balls most of the time. But that was about it. Um, one of the craziest parties we did was this rooftop party, and I was in a red cape because that was like my signature. I would go around into a cape. I was literally Captain Saver, bro, where I was literally like saving people's lives. But get this, like because I wanted to be more efficient, I was on rollerblades as well. So I'm on rollerblades on top of this pool deck at Anime Expo. If you've ever heard of Anime Expo, I used to like be there. I'm sure you've seen my ass. My ass is actually more famous than I am. People would recognize my butt. Like it's funny enough, like for the longest time, like people would be like, "Who? Like, do I recognize you?" And then I'd like show them my butt, and they'd be like, "I know who you are." So,
Oh my god!
no. Like I'm serious. Like at one point, like WonderCon. There's a convention in WonderCon. Yeah, in Anaheim. It's like similar to like Comic Con, a little bit smaller. And we were having a party at this fountain, and I was like in the fountain or whatever, and it was like midnight, maybe 1-2 a.m. And so I had to pee, so I just like stuck my dick in a bush, my ass is out. Someone took a picture of it and then tagged WonderCon. Fast forward a couple hours to like maybe like 7 or 8 a.m. My ass was trending on their page on Facebook, and like I remember a bunch of people were like sending me messages like, "Is this your ass, Hank?" And I'm like, well, this was years before I met Moni. Before she was like, maybe you should.
And then he got contacted by a modeling agency. Hey, we really love your ass, and we would like you to model it for us.
That would have been nice.
And the rest was history.
So at this party on top of it, this is probably like the pinnacle of this was like summer of 2016. And like everyone was like just watching, everybody was like, Hank is the guy. This is the guy who is in charge of us. Like they called me the party god there. And like I would be, so I was there. And the thing is, like I'm really good with people, so I became friends with the security guards. So they let us do whatever the fuck we want as long as I was in charge. So like they would come to me and talk to me while I'm on rollerblades, while I have a fucking cape on. But get this, if you've ever watched Borat, I don't know if you remember the Borat string, the suspenders, and he just has the dick, like it just is dicking. That's what I was in public, on rollerblades, in a cape, literally talking with people. I was pretty fucked up at the time too. Literally talking with security guards, making sure the party was okay, and coaching people in the middle. And that's what I always did.
You're a party god.
I was literally always naked, helping people do all these things.
You sound like a mythical fucking being, bro.
Well, I mean, I kind of am, but
people are less drunk than you, and you coordinated better.
Oh, I was always the most fucked up. I was always the most fucked up. We used to call it the final form. I remember I was. I mean, I don't even care about calling, but like I was on E. I was high. I was on cocaine. I was on everything. I was drunk. And then
that's some fire sign shit.
This is I'm not proud of it because I calmed it down after that. But what I ended up doing was
your 20s.
Yeah, it was my 20s. Yeah, I actually ended up. I have EpiPens because I have anaphylactic shock to bee stings. But I had some old ones, and I was like, you know what? It's adrenaline. Let's see how far I can push myself. So I did all of that, and that same night, I actually injected myself. And there's pictures of like someone injecting me, and it looked like I was going Super Saiyan. And then I ended up taking care of basically like, I think I had conversations and coached maybe like 2 or 3 or 400 people like that one Saturday night that I did it. Like
to us Geminis, you're a myth that we only thought existed. Yes, Chris, yes! I wish you knew how true this is, bro. I wish you knew how true that shit is, dog. Oh my gosh, that's why I'm like, yo, you're an actual real party god. Damn.
Yeah, I really was. I literally like would carry people like to like. It was funny too because I literally would like sometimes like I would just like have things like I used to call them like relics, and I'd like have like water or like I'd have water bottles or something, and I'd like roll up to somebody and like see them on the floor and they'd be like all woozy because they've been drinking too much, and they'd be like, oh, I'm not feeling so good, and I was like, oh, here's a water bottle. He's like, I was just thinking about a water bottle. I need this.
This nigga's a party god. Oh my god. And I just want to, kind of want to speak on reflection. He actually literally is an embodiment of Sag because the sun trines his moon. And so it's literally with that trine, the sun is the exalted aspect of the Sag that is like a literal creation and embodiment. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. Like, that is amazing. Holy shit.
Lady Sky, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Peace Dealer.
Let us welcome a Lady Sky to our membership.
Lady Sky, thank you so much for
of the $1
Woo!
billion vibe
I
tribe.
was very empathetic. I helped a lot of people. So that was the summer 2016. That was the hot girl summer. As like September come through, imagine Hank rolling up in a thong and rollerblades with bottled water. Yeah, that's exactly what I would be doing. Or like I'd have like a blanket or something, and they'd be like, "I'm cold," and I was like, "I have this blanket," and they're like, "How did you know?"
It be like that though. It be like that, and it's the little things, man. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, that's amazing. Oh,
Anyway, so basically what ended up happening was uh I as time continued on, like I started seeing, because like I was pushing the boundaries and people were following suit behind me, and that's when things started changing, because I was like, oh man, like I actually feel really bad, because I was actually seeing like a lot of people's like mental states and a lot of different things like affecting them, and I felt very much so like
responsible.
absolutely, because like I was the one like literally front and center with my dick out with the rollerblades and a cape running around like helping these people, but I was also like encouraging like destructive behavior. People like quit their jobs to just party. I was like almost like damn near botches. Like they were just like, yeah, let's just
Fuck,
get
it's
fucked
like
up all the
Dionysus.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And so I what is it? I felt bad. So that's about the time when I met Moni, and we ended up starting, like we started dating, and like there was some other problems, because at the same time we started having like a lot of people come in that were like social, like actual like damn near sociopaths. And they were manipulating people. The term power play started going around. Like people were trying to like take over the group or whatever. Like this one guy specifically, not gonna name names, but he literally like took people's money. And I ended up finding out later towards the end of this one event that happened in September. And that's when things started kind of crashing down. A lot of people were coming to me. They're like, "What are we gonna do about this guy?" Like, and everybody was scared of him because the talk was, or the rumor was, that he got a hit on some other ex-member that he literally got kicked out, and he like manipulated the whole situation to get him kicked out. I'm not going to get into that, but so a lot of people were scared of him because like literally like this guy, somebody came up to this person's work and literally robbed him at gunpoint. So everybody was scared, so they came to me. And so me and him literally had this battle that like lasted, I want to say like almost like a week of us like going back and forth in like our little like administrator chat, which ended up basically me saying like, you know what, if that's in, and I was like, no, you have to leave. I'm not gonna let you come in. I warned everybody in the group about him. None of them listened to me, and then they gave him his money, and then none of them got their money back for this like specific event. Some people were out like $1,000. Just one person was out like $1,000. That's how bad it was. And I warned them, and so did Moni. We both warned them. But I made that decision that day too. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be a true leader, as much as I can see myself as, I don't want to lead people this way. So what I ended up doing is I actually left the group and watched it implode. I mean, some of the
I
people
watched
like,
it implode.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah, I
Well,
watched
after
the,
the life left, boom.
yeah, basically, like, and so I decided after that to start like working myself. I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do, and that's when Moni brought up life coaching, and I was like, "Let's life coaching." And then she basically told me like what it was, and she's like, "That's literally what you were doing at these parties. Like you would sit down with these people and like listen to them and like love with them and like cry with them and just like be there for them, and everything." I didn't know it was life coaching. Yeah, that's totally
A
that is a
form
form of
of
life
it.
coaching.
A
Yeah,
form of it. Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, like honestly, like when it comes down to it, like, at the end of the day, like life coaching is literally like you having a conversation with somebody and you being there for them and listening to them and being like, I think that's a great idea, and encouraging them, because like most people really don't have encouragement in their lives. Luckily, we have like someone great like the peace dealer who's always like, yeah, man, let your flag fly always. But like not a lot of people get a chance to have that. So that's what I was doing for free, but I was like completely like fucked up. And so I started like working and developing it. Like right about that time, like back in 2018 is when I really started saying I'm a life coach and started coaching people. Some of the people from like the past of the group that I still like interacted with for free, because I was just like testing things out. And then 2020 happened, and I was like, I really want to pursue this, and I ended up going to this. I ended up joining the coaching place, learned up all kinds of different amazing things, and I'm about to be accredited in the International Coaching Federation, and I mean the rest is history basically. Here I am today. Yeah, all started from me trying to kill myself, and now here I am.
Which propelled you to where you're meant to be. So
Absolutely, because my whole focus was people, and that's why I thought I was doing in that group, because I was literally the person that was like there with them, for them, making sure they were safe, making sure that they everybody was taken care of. Like I was literally the security guard, so I was always making sure people are okay. And
which
like here I am.
I appreciate too, because like in both our cases, and I would say a lot of us, it's like before we stepped onto what we really do, we always had that heart to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like before I was doing astrology, I was in the Myers-Briggs. I was trying to figure out if people were introverts, extroverts.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing other shit. So, or just talking to people, just trying to, understand or counsel. So other than that, it's definitely it's really awesome, man. It's awesome to see you
Thank you.
barely kick off your life purpose and still have all this history leading up to it,
Oh yeah, I have more too in my younger days, but
I
that's
like to think
honestly
that this
like
is like the prelude, like the
yes,
Hobbit before the actual Lord of the Rings, and we're
yes,
kicking off the prelude, right?
absolutely. Yeah, that was like my I really want to say my rebirth period. Oh right, so I guess a little bit more on top of it. What also happened at the same time as when I was leaving the group, that's when I had my big spiritual awakening with my fiance, with Moni. We literally came together and had our spiritual awakenings together. We started meditating. I remember the first time we did like a full chakra cleanse, and like that heart chakra, that's a hard one to open up. And like when I opened it up the first time, I ended up astral projecting. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And like after that, like we focused solely on spirituality. And while I'm focusing on life coaching, and like fast forward now, it's been like 4 years of us like in this like spiritual place, and like we both like created something very very special like together, and it's just really incredible. Like I am like definitely her divine masculine to her divine feminine counterpart to each other, and it's
That's
honestly
Sun
a
and
blessing.
Moon. Let's get it.
Yeah. We actually have a painting on our wall. It's like live by the sun, love by the moon, and that's like basically like us. What we have in like our living room, like little photos of those. But anyway, but yeah, that's basically what happened. And then as we started having the spiritual awakening, because what ended up happening is like I was also being like basically psychically attacked by a lot of these people because I was so amazing. Um, I
It'd be
They
like
were like
that.
attacking me, and they were literally like telling me, like they would like tell one guy I was taking care of. He was like rolling, and I was like literally taking care of him. He like literally told me, he's like, if I wanted to, I could take money from you. It hurt me so badly because I was trying to take care of him, and my self-esteem was coming back down to the same
Crazy.
type of place where I was really really low. But I started recognizing it. I started realizing, I was like, I don't want to get back to that place. And in order for me to save myself and obviously and make sure our relationship stayed strong, I decided to start doing things differently. And I started meditating on a regular basis. I started, we started eating cleaner. We started cooking ourselves. We dropped everything. We started getting sober. Like it's just all kinds of different crazy things.
People be spilling the beans on ecstasy, yo. It's crazy. I remember one time I was rolling and I suddenly came up with the wise idea to let me call my mom and dad and let them know I'm rolling. The
No.
worst idea. I never ended up doing it, but like it's just crazy. Someone told me the other day, who I just met, that her ex-boyfriend, how she started to get woke to this stuff, he was rolling and he
Yep.
inadvertently spilled the beans on how him and his other wealthier friends basically do some pedophile shit and like buy little children and shit.
Yo, what confirmation? What, I mean, we've always known the leads do this shit, but like, damn, what'd she do after that?
She broke up with him,
Oh, good, good.
but like
Everyone's hope
she's writing a
so.
book too. Like
Good.
she dropped some wisdom. She's legit. She's legit. She kind of like keyed me in on the what's happening all now and like how they're censoring and all that. I don't want to say too much so they don't strike this, but
Yeah, because that's
yeah,
too much truth. You can't talk
I
about it.
don't even want to mention the word I wanted to, but yeah, let's play the 3 questions game. We'll take
All right,
turns
I'm
asking
ready.
each other 3 questions, and you can go first.
Okay. Oh, 3 questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa. You'll ask one, I'll answer. I'll
Yes.
ask one, you'll answer, and we'll go back.
Let's see. What's a question I want to know? This is great, actually. Let me ask you this. What would you say was one of your most important life lessons?
And same here, Lilac. I would get so like heavy
Oh
from the
yeah.
goal. I would just be more chatty. Like I mean, it's not like I couldn't, but other than that, one of my most important life lessons that I love that you asked that because I feel like my Saturn return taught me that lesson. And it's like never fucking play yourself again, peace dealer. And like Ona, it really I didn't realize the Saturn return smacked me in the face, made me realize I gave my power away my whole life.
I'm dropping fire emojis right now in the chat for that.
No, appreciate you because it's one thing to hear about it and hear people say own your worth. It's another thing to like really live it and like come back around and see how valuable you really are,
Yes.
and realize, wow, like I've allowed people to disrespect me when, the whole concept, before then I didn't even have the concept of what is it that I want, that I feel is, good for me. Even in approaching love, like it was always like, how can I make this person happy? How can I make this person happy? What can I
Mm,
do to get this person to love me?
yeah.
And it I don't know what flipped that switch, but I started to realize for the first time, it took me 30 years to
Damn.
once ask myself, wait, what do I want in a relationship? Like what is someone going to be like that will make me feel happy, that will make me give them my love? Not that I'm being manipulative, right? That I'm trying to control people, but like
No.
what are my boundaries? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was always kind of winging it, and I never felt that before, and it really just completely like changed the game for me. So to kind of sum that up, the biggest lesson that now I can feel, like it took me my whole life to accept it. Before, when I would hear this, when people would say you have everything you need within yourself, you have all the answers within yourself, it's
Yep.
something that I always believed, but I would roll my eyes at, like, that's not what I'm trying to hear. Like, I need an actual concrete answer, right?
That's your
But
cat Moon.
exactly, until like Cat Moon awakened and I realized, oh shit, like it's the truth. And like I have a happiness now where it's like, if I lost everything, if I had $0 in the bank, some people are so broke, all they have is
Yes.
money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn. So true. So fucking true.
so true. Be like, their sense of identity is attached so much to money. If they lose all of it, they'll kill themselves. They'll go depressed. If I lose everything, I would still be so happy, because it's like I have this infinite potential inside me, and I live it. You know what I mean? Like I'm learning ways to kind of come out of it, and I want to share that with everyone. So that was easily the biggest lesson that this Saturn return taught me, and I'm just so grateful, because like, you know, I wasn't really expecting it like that. The way it just kind of awakened. So
That's
definitely
beautiful.
grateful, and a
No,
lot of
dude.
that is
That's so cool.
patience and like going along with the process, because I try to rush it every single
Oh
point of the
yeah.
way. But just, surrendering, which is also a part of that lesson. And my
Mhm.
question for you is, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? What have you accomplished? What are you doing?
Oh man. Well, first, before I answer that question, I want to say, and I'm not just speaking for myself. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm also, I think, speaking for the chat. We're really grateful that that you're here with us, because like I know my life wouldn't be the same if I didn't find you, and I'm sure everybody in the chat can agree with that as well.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
Now, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? Leading the deep-seated battle against self-doubt within people, and I really want to see myself like raising amazing leaders, and I see myself like really like at the forefront, but not like in like a central point, like I am like this is who I am, like I'm this god, blah 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 blah. No, like I see myself like on the sidelines watching an army of people who believe in themselves, truly, honestly believing in themselves, and like building a strong, powerful world of love and kindness
It's
and
like
like and
taking
beauty.
all that power to be in service, basically, and
Absolutely.
to push.
Everybody's in service for each other and for themselves.
That's how
Um,
it is. That's the true nature of it. Highest is the lowest, lowest is the highest. Like,
yes.
I totally admire that, especially, see, I think our generation, and of course leading up to here, we've seen such a toxic expression of
Hmm.
masculinity and leadership,
Absolutely.
where it's like, oh, I'm at top and everyone works for me,
Mm-mm.
and it's like you're supposed to use that power to serve other people and build
Yes.
them up, and we all build each other up, and you know that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell people that like being a leader isn't just like leading from the front, because this is what I did when I was in this crazy my crazy party group. Was like I was leading from the front, I was leading from the middle, and I was leading from the back, because like I in my opinion a true leader helps the people in front to continue doing what they need to do, help the people in the middle, attain whatever their goals are so they can get to the front as well, and make sure that the people in the back aren't forgotten and aren't unheard.
That's what I love what you said. That's what I've always learned about. I'm not really big into calling people alpha males or beta males or zeta males,
No.
but like high value men, alpha
Yes.
males build up other males. Like it's fake
Yes.
alpha men who try and put down other men to be higher than other men. It's men and women of high
Yes.
value. They build up other people to both be strong together instead of like,
So
competing.
fucking true. That's the duty of the strong. The duty
Right.
of the strong is to help bring up the weak. So when you become stronger, point blank period.
Exactly.
Apocalypse Gang. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. My next question to you. What has been your craziest like spiritual experience so far? Like I'm talking like aliens, ghosts, like you ended up phasing through a wall. I feel like Geminis can do that. I don't know why.
Honestly, after 2013, every day has been a crazy spiritual experience.
That's
So
so cool.
I don't even remember. Like there's a fucking crazy experience and y'all know what I'm talking about. The synchronicities that just keep you speechless.
Yes.
So one of them that I do remember, it's actually amazing because Moni and I just had a session real quick, and I won't say too much details. But
Keep it on
like
the low. It's a surprise, you
I
can't.
had made the realization, right, about who I was, and it was a strong sense from my soul that came through, like, you are this, you're the personification of this. And like immediately after that realization came through, the news piece on my phone comes up, John Witherspoon is dead at age 77 type shit. Right. But the craziest thing that
You can't make this shit up.
I can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up.
I've posted a picture of Prince saying wait on it. The very next day he died. But I would say the craziest, yep. And like people who are skeptical looked at me different too. They're like, yo,
oh yeah, I bet they did. I bet they fucking did.
Right. But like I would say the craziest thing that I remember happening to this day that I still don't have an answer for was the Vegas shooting. And shout out to Esco because
you got to bring Esco up on one of these talks one of these days, because boy,
that was a period where we started looking at each other different too, like connecting the dots, because I think he was supposed to be there and he ended up not going. So like he got invited to there too. So like I was this was back in the day, but right before weed was legal in Vegas. I was driving every day to my plug. I would meet him at the subway. You know what I'm saying? He would give me my eighth, and I would go back, roll it up in the swishers. So I was making one of my trips, driving all the way down Las Vegas. I had to pass Mandalay Bay, and then I was coming back. Right? You already know what I'll say every while. Then I was coming back, and when you drive into the 215. This was back when this was after I was living with Maru. So I was going back to my apartment that was by the UPS post office because I used to live off of Sunset. So I drove to that 215 belt, and there's this place where when you drive into that 215 intersection, you go around this ramp that as you're going around the ramp, you see Mandalay Bay. It's like you're not driving around Mandalay Bay, but it's like because you're going around the circle,
you can see it.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
I'm listening. I got the moves. She made that back move. She made the titties move with Big Sean. And so as I'm driving around, mind you, I'm feeling the song.
Yeah. I love that song.
I love
shout
that
out to Big. Next person you gotta get a peace talk. You gotta get Big Sean.
That's true. That'll be an honor. That'll be a straight honor. But all I do know is that specifically as I'm driving down, that part of the song comes through. Let's see. Okay. I'll put the lay away. Hit your ass from like way away.
Yeah.
The moves. I'm listening to that exact part as my hand is pointing at Mandalay Bay and I'm driving around. Fast forward to that night, that's exactly what happens there. So it's like my soul knew without me consciously knowing. And it's just shit like that. You know what I mean? For example, shout out
Damn.
to David Palma, Maru and Justin, spiritual bodybuilder. We were driving back from California, ayahuasca ceremony, and we drove by Crenshaw. So we were like right by Nipsey's hood.
Oh, was this? Don't tell me.
And I'm talking about as soon as we come back to Vegas, we find out Nipsey died. So it's crazy because when we plug the time in, we were driving right by him as he got shot. We just didn't know that's what happened. So like these weird coincidences with deaths. I traveled literally the day before 9/11 to Nigeria. I had to freaking cancel the flight because 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
We had to fly the next day. So, you know, shit like that. It just really kind of keyed me into something that I feel like I'm awakening more to.
Wow.
And
that's definitely UNESCO, y'all death cards.
Shinigami. For sure.
I love it, man. That's fucking crazy. That's
Yeah, I would say that Mandalay Bay experience was one of the
I bet that was like the most
yeah.
That synchronicity, that literally that's really interesting that's how you like I think I know this is like the question you have to ask me a question, but I think that's really interesting like to point out that like synchronicities happen differently, I noticed, for different people.
Yeah.
Because it seems like for you, like the synchronicities like literally like flow through you.
Yes, it's like I'm a vessel of it.
Yeah, because you literally like shot the gun. You were like channeling.
Dude.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking
and it's
crazy.
Like, and now I'm like, did I manifest that, or did I just know it was going to happen because it was a harvest ceremony?
Yeah.
I don't want to believe and then the shooter was an actual Aries, and Big Sean was Aries, so I don't believe that I manifested it, right? But
no, I think that you were like you said, a vessel.
Like I was trolling myself. That's how I see it. Because like, who was I sharing that message to, right? Like
that's
that
pretty
was
Gemini,
right? So it's having me, and yeah, it is a little scary because like you know these things. This actually happened to me before I got scammed when I moved in here, where I saw an angel number and I was about to give my money to somebody who was a Christian family, and you know I found them off of Craigslist, and I saw a scam, but I didn't put two and two together until I sent the money on Western Union. I found out the guy doesn't even own the home he wanted money from. I got straight scam, like a fucking idiot. And so, you know, I'm just learning to, you know, tap more into trusting and understanding. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I know, like, the reason why I share these instances is just like I go through this, every single one else goes through this. And I just like to bring more awareness. But
yes. Absolutely, I love that. That's really, really cool. That's I have a Gemini friend, and that's how her synchronicity. She gets dreams. She actually she got she had a dream like literally a year before like lockdown happened, and in the dream she was walking around with a bunch of people wearing masks. Yeah, she's actually predicted
surgical masks.
She also predicted, I think, like a month or two before the storming of the Capitol too. She had a dream about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I had a dream in 9/11 before it happened.
No, that's fucking crazy. Aries too, of course.
Aries, yeah. And then the night of the shooting, there was somebody there who was warning people like, something's gonna happen, you guys need to leave. They put it on the news. Like someone was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel something bad's gonna happen, like moments before the shooting. And like
people didn't listen.
So that's why I was like, okay, maybe something kind of alerted certain people that it was gonna happen before it happened, you know what I mean? Or just like intuitive. My 8th house is Sagittarius and Capricorn. I have Neptune and Uranus in the 8th. So I recently got scammed out of crypto. There's that online Instagram. This is how brother Black Swan's Instagram got hacked because of that.
Wondering about that.
That's going on. Yeah. Damn. Which I had no business following. I'm so fucking dumb because like I knew it was a scam, but my curiosity was like, but just thinking, like the first thing I did was like, oh, this nigga's trying to scam me. This motherfucker wants this. That's a scam. This is a scam. This website's fake. But just in case it's true, I'm just like, I deserve to lose my money. Like, fucking stupid.
Don't do that to yourself.
Straight up. It is what it is.
What's your next question?
So my next question is, how
Yes.
did you know that Moni was the one? Was it when you first met her, or was it after hanging out?
That's a great question. So we actually joke about it that when we saw each other, I didn't realize it, but Moni said she like instinctively knew that like someplace deep down inside her, she knew that I was the one, and like it made her mad.
That's some Taurus shit. That's some Taurus shit. Yes, like how dare this nigga? How dare this nigga?
Because like at the time, like it was like the summertime, and like she was having, we were both like having the hot girl summers. Like we weren't having, we weren't hoes, but like we were still like having fun, and so she, but there was like this weird thing because like so I'm gonna drop this out. Like I said, I've never been a cheater. Just want to make sure. So when I first met Moni, like I was in another relationship at the time. Like when we met, it was like towards like December of 2015. That was the first time I met her, and like we were just friends. That was it. We had no interest in each other, nothing like that. And towards the end of the relationship I had with her, with my ex at the time, we were at like this convention, and like I was like one of my brothers in the Pokemon man. He was trying to like get at Moni's best friend, and so like we're like dancing or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, could you be my wingman?" And so he so basically I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so like I'm dancing on Moni, right? This is like first time like we ever like gotten like really close, and so we start dancing, and like she's a really good dancer, and I was also being a really good dancer as well, and I was like, "Ooh!" And there was like this like spark that happened, and like after that. Sorry, Moni. After like we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. But one of the people that was there, like they were like the whole group of themselves were also preying on the downfall of the relationship I had previously before me and Moni got together, because they didn't like her. And so the guy took the picture and posted it on Facebook. Um, and like I got like a call, and like mind you, I was in we were in a different I was in a different city. Like I was in Northern California, and they were still in Southern California. They didn't come. And so like I owned up to it. I owned up to it. I do want to say that like we didn't do anything. We just danced. But it was enough to like everybody's like, oh shit, like who's the other woman? Like nobody saw her face. They only saw the back of her because like she was not like grinding on me, but anyway. So I admitted it. Like I remember the whole time, like I went on Facebook and I was like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he recorded the whole thing. I apologized. I was like, hey, it's my fault. Like it was, I was like, I apologize. I did wrong. And I even told her I did wrong. And like I even messaged Moni like maybe the day afterwards, and I was like, I'm so sorry to put you in that position. Like that was never my intention, and I apologize for the whole entire thing. And like I remember getting back, and it was like a whole fight and whatever. But we were already like to the point where we were like gonna break up soon anyway, because she just didn't understand me. She was like kind of a little too mature. Anyway, so like I think like maybe like a week or two after that whole situation happened, we broke up. So you know, after that situation happened, as soon as I was single, whenever we look at each other, whenever we saw each other at parties, because mind you, like I'm in charge of this whole party vibe. Um, I like came up and I was like, hey, and no, we just like look at each other. Like I'd be drunk and be like, hey, maybe we'll see each other tonight, and she'll be like, well, maybe we will. We never would. But we would always just be like looking at each other and we're like, we'll see you later. I'll see
Yo,
you later.
that's
And
what's
I
up.
would be like, well, maybe we should kiss, and she'll be like, well, maybe. And then anyway, and then fast forward, eventually, one convention happened, and we ended up like hooking up, and then I ended up taking her home because the original person that like brought her there decided to leave her there because she wouldn't sleep with him. What a douche.
Damn.
And so like I was like, I'll take you home. Like we did some stuff, and like we had a good time, and so yeah, we didn't talk for months after that. Like we actually avoided each other. We would just look at each other most of the time. We just look at each other, give each other a look, and then just keep going.
That's amazing.
And so I think that was when I realized, honestly, that dance, and that's why I had to break up with her because I was like, this isn't gonna work because I know where my
Mm.
heart's at. But like
The
we were still like
spark
having a
is
good time.
sparked. Right.
And so I took her home. I brought her back to her place, and like I had her bags, and it gets cuter, Lilac. Trust me. So her bags were in my car because I was like, yeah, I'll take you home. Like I don't that guy's a douche. I can't believe he didn't take you home. Like why would he just assume you were just gonna sleep because like, you guys carpool together? If that was the case, then everybody'd have like a fucking lawsuit on their hands at work. But um so I brought her back because like at the time like where she was staying at the city like which is the same city we still reside in today. Funny enough, 5 years later, it was like on the way to Riverside. So I dropped her. We came over. I parked, and she was like about to get her bags out. I was like, hey, let me help you get your bags, because I'm gentleman like that. That's what you're supposed to do. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just like, let me help you get your bags. It's a lot of bags. You're cute. You're a lady. Let me help you. And I would do that for my guy friends too, regardless. So I was like, hey, let me help you out with your bags. So we take them up to her apartment. And then she's like, hey, so like, I don't know if you want to like hang out and chill. Like, I can make you some Totino's pizza rolls and mac and cheese, and maybe some chicken nuggets. And if you want, like, we can hang out and play Sonic Adventure Battle 2 together. I never left. Never
Wow.
left. That's how it started. She was like, here, I'll take care of you. And honestly, she told me this after. She told me that like she saw me taking care of everybody in this group. I was always there for everybody. Like she remember when we first started like basically living together, which was very very quick on. Um,
Word. That's what's up.
we She would see me like like my job as the party god never ended. So like when I was at the parties, I was taking care of people. But like on the low, when I wasn't at parties, my phone was buzzing. Like from the time I would wake up at like 6, 7 a.m. to like the time I went to bed at like 11 p.m., I was getting texts and messages from people like, my life's falling apart. What should I do? I need to talk to somebody, blah, 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 blah. And so I was always taking care of people, but no one was taking care of me. And she saw that. And so she was like, let me take care of you. And then I was
Dang.
like, why would I leave? She's the only one that actually saw me for who I was. The only person to ever. And
It's
I never
Sonic
left.
Adventure 2
Yeah,
for
the Sonic Adventure Battle 2, man. I was like, you got Sonic Adventure Battle 2?
right.
Oh, I'm never gonna leave. And I never did. And
Yeah.
we've been working hard together as a unit for ourselves and for each other. Like I can honestly say that like she makes me a better person. Like she makes me a better version of me. And I definitely do the same thing for her. Like we literally have an actual like twin flame relationship, like point blank period. Like we recently discovered like what our like destined like what we're supposed to be. Yeah, it is really cute. Our destined like the reason why we came together. And I'm not gonna. You guys will probably find out about it later when the war happens. But um, but like it's been like quite an interesting journey, honestly. It's been a lot of work, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like this twin flame relationship that you guys are looking for, like it's not like bells and whistles, it's not like rainbows. It's beautiful, absolutely, but like I'm going to tell you this right now, like we put in a lot of work. We've put in more work in these past 5 years in our relationship as individuals and as a couple than I think most people would ever put into any type of relationship. We've seen it. We've seen relationships like literally like that are open, that literally like used to come on us and would tell us shit, and they would literally tell us, they would be like, well, we operate at 120% because they're open, but they were always cheating on each other, and they were jealous of us because we actually had true authentic love. Anyway, but yeah,
People
it's a lot of
are
work.
predicated on love.
It's
Stories
it's
like
it's a
this
lot
are
of work. Like, and yes, prosperity. It was absolutely worth it. Like, we gave up everything for each other. We dropped all of our friends. Like, we were hermits. Like for a good like 2 or 3 years. We came to a point where it was me, her. Like that's even like what we always talk about. Like it's our dream team is like me, her, and our cat Rosalina. It's this little cute little fluffy white cat, and like that
that's
was the dream team for such a long time. It was quite a experience, honestly. And we even like sat down. We were like, you know what? It's just gonna be me, you, and our cat Rosalina for the foreseen future, and we're okay with that. We didn't have any friends for like a good couple years because we were so adamant about working on ourselves. We gave up everything. Like when I tell you we gave up everything, we stopped talking to all of our friends at the time. We stopped doing the same things that we used to do. All we did, like I remember one time, we were staying at our friend's a friend's room because we were like in between apartments for like it was a good month. We were waiting for our next apartment to get ready, and like every single day we would just go to work, and like it was just me and her. We'd go to work separately, come back to each other, and just like hold on to each other and strengthen each other again. And we go right back out to work, and we worked really really hard. Yeah, Sanchia. Yeah, 10 years. It's a lot of work, but honestly, it's absolutely worth it. But for the right person. But you have to be with somebody that is willing to work with you. And that's why me and
right.
Moni work so well. It's because she's willing
Right.
to do the work and I'm willing to do the work as well.
That's so real.
If someone's not willing to try to do it, it's not going to work.
And
Ashton,
like
put your
I've gone personally. I love the story between you. I've gone personally from being obsessed with being with a soulmate and then stepping into the whole twin flame journey and being like, oh yeah, I need to find my twin flame to now
wow.
just being so, you know, The best thing about the twin flame journey is that I've met soulmate counterparts
Yes.
that reflect the archetype, which really reminded me who I have to be, right? It just brought me back to myself, and
Yes.
it taught me not to project on other people. You're my this, you're my, anytime you say you're my this, you're projecting,
Hmm.
because you don't have a twin flame. You are a twin flame, or you are a soulmate, right? So
Yeah.
now I'm at a place where it's like I'm just live my fullest self. And if I connect with the soulmate, cool. If I connect with the karmic relationship, cool. Because people have the most toxic behavior. Like, I don't want my soulmate. I want a twin flame. A twin flame is a soulmate.
Oh,
Or I don't want a
yes.
karmic relationship. Like, you people talk about karmic partnerships like it's something you can say no to. Like, it's karma you have to work through with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've really learned to just embrace, if this is what God wants me to go through, let me not
Yes.
get in my ego. Let me learn from it and then move on. And you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So it is what it is. It's definitely, I'm definitely grateful.
I really like that you brought that up. That it is what it is, and you just have to like let it go. I will tell you this right now to those of you who are watching this that are like looking for their twin flame. If you're looking for your twin flame for perfect, like for a perfect love story, don't even fucking try. It's not even worth your. It's not even worth your fucking try. I'm being serious because like my fiance Moni, like me and her, we have a divine duty, and it's really fucking hard. We discovered this just this like this these past couple weeks. Michael, side note, Michael's right. He always knows he's right. There you go. There you go. That he's always right. Like these past next couple months, these next couple weeks are going to be so imperative for like the rest of like society and the world itself. And like we discovered what our divine duty was, and it's going to be a lot of fucking work. And like I'm gonna tell you, like if you're looking for like the perfect relationship, if like that's what you're expecting this like twin flame to do, then like just don't even fucking try. If you're not willing to like give up everything, and I'm just not mean every like if like like I'm telling you right now, like I would die right now if someone put a bullet to my head and was like, you have to kill yourself, and that's your divine purpose between you and Moni, and she has to live and you have to die. I would do it in a heartbeat. That's how fucking serious this like type of like because we were karmic soulmate twin flames.
Yeah.
And like I like if people don't tell you, and I'm sure like people always talk about the twin flame, whatever, like that, but you really need to, you really fucking need to know, like don't
You know it's
if
real when there's no labels. There's not even a word for it. Like, you see how
no,
you struggle to put it into words. It's like
yes.
it's beyond all the labels. Like, I feel you.
We didn't even know we were twin flames when we first got together. It wasn't until like a year into our spiritual awakening journey, maybe a year and a half, like maybe it was like 3.5 years into our relationship where we discovered and realized after Moni was researching about twin flame relationships, and she was like, "Are we?" And she looked more and more into it, and it was like, "Yep, yeah, we are." So yeah, don't do it if you're not willing to drop everything and give everything to it, because like the path that I was on was supposed to be a party god. I was probably going to die by this point in time with all the things I was ingesting and putting in my system,
You're
and I
still
gave
a
everything
party
up.
god. You just party in different
I
ways.
did, I party with the soul now, which is
Right.
way
Yeah.
cooler. I party with people's true like true selves. Anyway, yeah.
Amazing.
Anyway, okay, my question next, right? This is
And
my
you,
last
you saw
question.
the private chat, right?
Which one? Or I'm watching the private chat.
There we go.
Uh, oh, right. Yeah. Um, perfect. I like that. That makes sense. Yeah, I saw it. At first I was like, private chat. What? All right, right. I got it. Like I don't use fucking StreamYard. Anyway,
Right.
the next question I have for you is, hmm, there's so many questions I could ask you, honestly. I guess, um, ooh, I like this. Since you've mentioned before that like you want to create kind of like a federation similar to the ICF, which mind you is a nonprofit organization. Everybody's volunteers for it. It's a bunch of coaches that want to help develop stronger coaches. So it's very similar to what you were talking about.
Right.
I'll give you the link to them so you can research it. And they talk a lot about how they were formed and everything. That might be a good place for you to
Yeah.
start.
That actually.
Um, what's one thing that you want to see this Astro Federation, like what's one thing that you want to see come from this? Like one,
Oh,
one really important thing.
there's a lot, but I think the most important thing that we can break through is we need to stop playing these children. We didn't
Mm,
stop. Like, children are indoctrinated with some of the most useless education. It's
absolutely.
a fucking joke.
Yeah,
Complete joke.
it
I
is.
mean, the curriculum of older times was much better than it is now. Which, I mean, no offense to the older times, this shit was trash too. But
Yeah. Well,
right,
we know why it's trash because they don't want people to live.
exactly.
But
But personally, I think the biggest milestone would be introducing in legislation all around the world for astrology to be taught in grade school
I love
and
that.
in preschool. Like,
Yes.
1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old should know their sign and should
Yes.
know how to speak basic astrology before they enter high school.
I
Like,
agree.
that needs to be in curriculum, that needs to be taught. Once that's established, we're actually making progress. And I don't think we can really call ourselves true astrologers if we can't, break through. Even though there's so much against us, right? It's
Yes.
still our responsibility to make it happen. We can't make it
Properly.
too
Yeah.
easy. So
Absolutely. And properly. I love that because honestly, like I've just been tiptoeing, and ever since I started watching you, did I really start getting inspired to like research astrology and whatnot. Like before, Moni was the one who did a lot of it, and I was like, touching a little bit. Like I knew what my sun, moon, and rising was, but it wasn't until I started like really, really like working with you. Yes, like you should definitely homeschool because the public school system. Um, but what is it? The My life has so much been so changed ever since I really started studying astrology. Like nobody needs to study like you don't need to be a peace dealer to learn like you don't need to be a peace dealer to and try to become the peace dealer. You just need to know just enough because like I can assure you like if it wasn't for the fact of me like being able to study and know like astrology as much as I did, I would have not cleared out this Mercury retrograde had been like so beneficial to me actually. It'd been like the best like situation ever. Like now I look forward to retrogrades
bro,
because I know I'm going to learn something.
have you seen Soul Eater?
Of course.
You know Lord Death, right?
Yes.
So first of all,
Is that what you want to be?
well, I I
I
realized
love it.
low key that's actually what I didn't realize until after I moved to Vegas. Um, that show is based off in Death City, Nevada, Vegas, right?
Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So I want
yeah.
to open a Shibusen Academy that teaches people how to be weapon meisters, and I want to open a college that teaches magical sciences and also astrological sciences and psychic arts, and to just revolutionize education. Because I always wanted to be a teacher. When I was a kid, I thought
You are
being
a
like
teacher.
right. I thought being personally freaking now and it's crazy how I'm becoming that person. But before I thought I wanted to be a store clerk. Like I thought I just had to be a cash register. Like
Mhm.
that's what I want to be. And then I realized I want to get into teaching and I really want to be like I'm creating online schools where I want to actually have a college and be a dean of a college, kind of like in the magicians too, Dean Falk.
Yes. Oh, dude, I can totally see you with Dean Fogg, except instead of a drinking problem, it's a smoking
Right.
problem.
Yeah. The dean room is all like smoked up and
Yeah.
shit. I'm always hitting a vape pen or some shit.
Yeah,
That
like,
would be fire. Oh snap!
God damn it, Todd. God
Don't
damn it,
sleep on
Colby.
Todd. Don't sleep on Todd. Oh shit! But yeah, that's when I realized, wow, like I really, you know, I, I'm gonna really come into that archetype and fulfill that duty. So it is what it is. And thank you, Moni. Like that was an amazing realization to come back into and really accept and embrace. So other than that, my last question for you is: you're in a classroom full of children, and you're the substitute teacher, and you have an opportunity to drop a red pill. What red pill would you drop on them?
I love that. So I think I'm going to separate myself in this situation where obviously I'm the substitute teacher, but I think I would like talk to this class in a way that I would want to be talked to when I was growing up because I was not a good student, honestly, and that's because I was so bored. Like it just wasn't for me. Like I don't know what it was. It just didn't stimulate me, which I now know why, because like the school system, the public school system, or just the school system in general is kind of bullshit.
Right.
But I think what I would do is I would be like very open and honest with them, and I'd be like, listen, this is school children, right? What grade? Give me a grade.
Let's say like fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
Like before grade or high school, but more so like preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second
Mm.
grade, third grade, fifth grade.
I think the thing that I would tell them right now is first and foremost, like I for the class, if I was a sub for the class, like I would like have I would come in with us with the lesson plan for the day, and I'd be like, okay, kids, all right, I see some of you have your books out. Those of you that have their books out, put them away. We're not going to use it. This lesson plan, I'll rip it up, throw it behind me, and I'd be like, this is what I want to tell you right now. This is what we're gonna talk about today. What is it that you want to do in your life? What do you feel called to do? Fuck everything. Maybe I wouldn't say fuck, but I would tell them like, forget like the schools. This is just how it is. This is what they're gonna. This is what they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you how to do X, Y, and Z, and they're gonna want you to follow this preset curriculum, this preset frame of how you're supposed to be. That's only meant for a very select few of people, because they want them to do that. They want you to be slaves to a system that they've created. And I would tell them to stop it. I would tell them to instead find out what they really want to do, what they truly love. I would tell them to experience life. Obviously, like do you know whatever it is that that the schools tell them to, but put emphasis when they have a chance to. Just like if you were working a full-time job, put your focus on what you love. If I was encouraged to do that, and if I was told like years ago when I was younger to just, I don't know, just like to enjoy myself, because I always loved talking to people. I was like a natural orator. Like I would love to talk to people. Like when I was in high school, they had to create a separate like island in all my classes that my teachers would make. They had to put a desk and a chair as far into the corner in the back as possible, especially by my senior year, because at one point I wasn't just distracting the class, I was distracting the teacher. And if somebody saw me do that and was a really good fucking teacher, they would have saw that I didn't belong there. I belonged in front of people, working with them, talking with them, encouraging them. Not sitting there learning about bullshit fake history, not learning about math. Like my skills was in speaking, and I had no confidence, and nobody fucking saw that.
Wow.
That's what I would tell them that story. And I would tell them that what they need to do is they need to find out who they are and what they want to do and what they want to do and add to the world, to the planet. And I would tell them, no matter what anybody says, you need to remember that you need to believe in yourself. And then for the rest of the time, I'd probably be coaching them. And be like, all right, let's figure out what your values are and what you'd like to do in this planet. And then also let them know it's okay to change things.
Yeah, right. It's okay
Okay.
to change your mind and go a different direction too.
To keep some of the swear words. I don't know if fifth and, well, I mean, honestly, fifth and sixth graders are on online, so they probably see a lot worse things than. Funny enough, this is a side note. I got my haircut not too long ago, and I came into my barber shop, and they always fucking crack me up. And all of a sudden, all I hear is like, yeah, he grabbed my phone and Google searched at titties, and he was only 6, and now he knows what titties are. Apparently, like put in big fat titties, and like. So technically, I'm sure these kids they be.
I remember being in grade school.
No.
I remember being in grade school, and like the 6-year-olds, the 5-year-olds knew what sex was, and I didn't. They're like, you need to go out more, and I'm like, what are you guys talking? Like, I was totally like naive to all that shit, but they knew all of that young. And kids now are way more savage than we were when we were kids. So
absolutely,
not that it's an excuse, but it's just it's really interesting.
You're the fucking goat, bro.
That's hilarious.
But I think another thing I would also say, which is really, really important, is I would also tell them like, you're not better than anybody else. I would tell them, and to never forget that, because I feel like that's the other half. Because I know when I was growing up, junior high is so hard, because like everybody's always like, what's the word? They're if they see somebody that's like achieving, they're like, oh well, I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy that they get to do that. I don't want them to what's it called? I don't know. Then they tease them and whatever, just for them being themselves. I would tell them, encourage it. If you see someone being weird or different, encourage it. Try being weird with them. You might find something that you like.
True that.
That's what I would tell them. Yeah.
That was super awesome of a talk, Hank. Do you have any final words of encouragement for anyone walking this path at all?
Let's see. I think I would probably tell them that, like, doing the work is hard, honestly, like, especially because I'm in my Saturn return. At the beginning of, like, when, like, it's got really sticky, and now this is about, like, mid-July, you know? It was really, really rough for me, I'm not gonna lie. And it's been rough up until, like, basically the last couple 2 weeks, where I literally, mind you, like, I've been sitting and thinking about making this workshop for quite some time, and this piece that went along with this peace talk. Like, me and Michael actually talked about this not too long, like, months ago, and we're talking about it. He's the one. He's like, okay, well, if we're gonna do this, I want you to make something. And I was like, okay, I'll make something go along with this peace talk. And so I sat on it for like a good, like, 1.5 months, 2 months, almost 3 months, just thinking about it, how I was going to do it, how I was going to make it, how I was going to make the worksheet, or the workbook, I should say, how I was going to make the PowerPoint, the presentations, like how the admin strip was going to go, all the things. And I never moved on it until the week that Saturn went direct. And there's something that happened that Sunday. I was just like, I gotta make sure I do this. And so I created everything, the workbook, the PowerPoint, even the promotional video. I did that all in a week because I was just so focused and I was just so happy and I was just enjoying myself so much. So, like, but I had to do a lot of work and I didn't know I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I just know that, like, I feel like I have a duty and a need to help other people find and strengthen who they are inside themselves. If you know who you are inside, like, great, that's awesome. This workshop's still for you, even if you do know, and if you don't know, this is supposed to help strengthen that so you become stronger and more powerful. I guess, like, the real thing to say is, like, just to like basically just, like, enjoy your life. Like,
Right.
don't let these other people or naysayers or even the voice inside your head stop you from, like, your true amazing greatness, because honestly, that's when they win. That's when they win. That you win when you are 1000% your most authentic self, and they win when they keep you under in fear.
Amen to that. Woo. Well, thank you guys for joining us once again. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll return with a bit of a surprise and maybe a couple of surprise guests. So stay tuned, ladies and gents.
Shit is looking so heavy in the lights. This imagery is looking so heavily at night. This roller coaster ride gon' forever change your life. Strap your seatbelt, nigga, and get ready for this flight. Yeah, on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch. In the trap house, I be working fiends that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing. Yeah, on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch. Take a girl behind the curtains. Evil spirits lurking. This shit got the pretty bitches twerking. Yeah, I'm the man in the streets. I'ma tell you now, pilot man on the beach. If I ain't from this planet, I got planet like a plan. If I fell out the sky, I would never land on my feet. Yeah, what you mean? Y'all dirty enough life, but shit is crystal clean. Just open up your eyes, I hope you niggas see. This world a bigger ocean than you in the sea. Damn, where we floating? Yeah, just thought I had a thought this shit was Hermes. I got voices in my ear sounding like Birdman. Look, you Herman, playboy when you living in the water, coming like a mermaid. Yeah, Zion shit. yeah. You know you living like sometimes that ain't right. Disappearing out of plain sight just to go get high. 8 flights, Archangel Uriel, on God, I'ma bring light, nigga. On flights, on flights. That's on flights, I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch, in the trap house I be working fiends that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing, yeah. On flights, on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch, take your girl behind the curtains. Evil spirits lurking, this shit got the pretty bitches twerking, yeah. The pilot man, you know the coolest folk, yeah. Might pull off in a fucking UFO. You niggas need to watch who you approach. Don't give a flying fuck about who you know. No mistletoe, but she be missing me, yeah. We'll be together now that shit complete. Do all the drama, we be sipping tea. And then she gonna let me hit them cheeks. Your girl gon' shake that ass, yeah. Your girl gon' make that cash, yeah. Your girl gon' bring it back, yeah. You know I'm gon' make it last, yeah. I'm checking that she got some common sense, got some good head, but she ain't really got no scholarship. But she get bread and she ain't really with that partnership. Just cause she dance, her kids at grandma's or they father crib. Twinkle little stars lit, yeah. All of us is high, you might think we falling from the sky. Goddamn lie, say it's all up in your mind. If you wanna see the seas, it'll water up your eyes, yeah. You got no current, who exhausted all your vibes. The reason why you calling all the time, just a lost spirit. You ain't got no hobby or a crime. Why I'm the best rapper out of all of them alive. And you know that on flights, on flights, that's on flights, I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch, in the trap house I be working fiends that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing, yeah. On flights, that's on flights, I put that on flights. Flight boss, bitch, take your girl behind the curtains. Evil spirits lurking, this shit got the pretty bitches twerking, yeah. Flights, 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 flight boss.
I'm Brock Hard, and I approve. I'm Brock Hard, and I approve this message.
Whoa, wait, you're not supposed to come out yet. Get back over here and wait.
Hi, I'm Hank.
I'm Brock Hard.
And he's Brock Hard. I'm a certified life coach with 4+ years of experience in the field. I'm also somebody that loves self-love, and I am a prominent supporter of self-love for myself and for other people. Not to mention, more than anything, I love seeing others thrive, succeed, and more importantly, ascend. Now it's time for me to explain the Discover Your Most Authentic Self web workshop.
Hey, that's my job.
Well, actually, now it's time for Brock Hard to explain the Discover Your Most Authentic Self web workshop. Alright, it's time to get Brock Hard. I hope you guys are ready. So let me explain about what to expect from the Discover Your Own Authentic Self web workshop. Let me just pull out the workbook out of my vest. Haha! Now, other than amazing awesomeness and the self-growth that you need to become a more stronger, powerful, authentic you, this is what you get to expect. You first start off by imagining and in this dream sequence of creating your ideal self. After that, we get deep into what values this authentic self is, or who they are. After that, we go deep and create a brand new core of who you will soon become. Next, we will create action steps. Strong, powerful, Brock Hard action steps that'll make sure you get to where you need to go. Then after that is a surprise. Hope you guys are excited as much as I am to see who you truly become. Now then, thanks for staying Brock Hard and Brock focused during that explanation. Now it's time for Hank to finish the rest of this promo video. Haha! Alright, well thank you so much Brock Hard for that thrilling explanation of the Discover Your Most Authentic Self web workshop. The price for this web workshop is going to be $60 per person. Because of the type of work that we're going to be doing, I'm going to be keeping these classes to about 5 people, 6 including me. Because of this, thankfully, we're gonna have multiple classes available to people for the next week or two for now. We may expand as time continues on. You can check down in the description below for a link to figure out what time slots would work best for you. Or you could just go to the clearsightconsulting.net website and look into the webinar section. There should be a little section describing the Discover Your Most Authentic Self web workshop. The web workshop should take about an hour to complete entirely. This includes guidance through the 5-page workbook, group and individual coaching, group discussions, and most importantly, self-growth. Now, most importantly, I really want to explain the reasoning behind me creating this workshop, this web workshop, the workbook, and all the time and effort I put into working on this. This whole entire process has taken me about 2 to 3 months to actually fully complete. However, this is something that I've been working on for the entire 28 years of my life on this planet. Let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to be serious right now. That's why I'm here and not Brock Hard. What will you do if everything falls apart? If the government that is there to help protect you falls apart? If money becomes obsolete? If there's a food shortage? Or if you lose your job? If all those things happen, hopefully they don't, but if they do, because things have been looking grimmer and grimmer as time's gone on, what will you have? Let me tell you right now, I'm not afraid of what could come and what could happen, because I know who I am. I know who my most authentic self is. That means all the skills that I have built over years, all the self-love that I had to discover within, all the shadow work, all the personal development, all the time it took will keep me safe, will keep my family safe. So this web workshop is going to help you strengthen your core so that you can become a stronger, more solid being in the long term. I want you to leave this web workshop with a feeling of finally being alive. Now, there's also 2 additional surprises I have in store for you.
Let me tell him.
I'll let Brock Hart announce that. I'll see you there. Haha! Thought I was gonna come in from the left, didn't ya? Now, because we are so sure, specifically Hank and I, Brock Hart, are so sure that this is going to be amazing and give you the growth that you are looking for, Hank has created a free downloadable worksheet right here for you to use. It's a simplified version of the 5-page workbook. Don't think that it's not going to be just as powerful as it. This will get you to exactly where you need to go. But for those of you who want to go further beyond and blast through any limits to ascend beyond, then the workshop is for you. To further promote this, Hank and the one and the only Peace Dealer will be having a live peace talk together this Friday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So don't miss out on it. And this is the best part. I promise you, this is the best part. Not only will there be a peace talk between Hank and the Peace Dealer, I will be meeting the gentleman and the scholar, Sir Oreo. That's right, one night only. Brock Hard, Sir Oreo. We will talk about the importance of self and the individual. That means I will be there as well. So take care until then.
Are you ready to get Brock Hard? Sir, the amazing and the wonderful and the wonderful Sir Oreo.
It's been a while. It has definitely been a while.
I've been looking forward to our meeting today, sir.
First thing I want to say is fuck the Peace Dealer. He never lets me out. I'm some kind of gimmick to him.
I feel you. You know, the last time I've been in booty shorts and out and about has been quite some time. I was really excited to do this promo video, but not as excited as I am to see you, Sir Oreo.
Brock Hard, you're a fucking legend. I've heard about you a lot. Peace Dealer told me we were going to talk. I couldn't believe him at first, but look at you. You're here. Shout out to Hank for allowing you some space. I swear, what is up with these people? They think that they're the real person and we're the
Right.
alter ego. It makes no sense.
Disgusting.
Makes no sense.
They think that they're the main characters when we are truly the main character.
I ghostwrite all of Peace Dealer's material.
Oh,
Peace Dealer will not tell you that. All right, I'm the mastermind behind all of his videos, and he owes me more episodes. He stopped at episode 2.
Oh, that's Brock
Fucking
Hard.
asshole.
Well,
he made up for it because I'm speaking with you right now. Shout out to you.
That's good.
Brock
That's
Hard.
shout out to us.
Shout out to
Brock Hard, amazing men.
Yes.
You know, I really was very excited to talk about this when someone brought it up. I believe his name was Ben's Lost Mind. He said, I would love to see the Brock Hard meet Sir Oreo. I was like,
shout out to you, Ben. Shout out to you.
I really want to take this time to talk about the importance of self and the individual. You know, as Brock Hard, I am truly Aries 1000%. And you, Sir Oreo, are a gentleman and a scholar. I would love to hear your take on the importance of self and the individual. And we will talk more about it, and we'll go back and forth. And this conversation will get Brock harder every 5 seconds.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's very important to be yourself. You look at all these idiots out here trying to be other people, trying to steal other people's styles and just, you know, say they're themselves, but the actions just don't show it. Bro, look at you, Brock Hard, harding it up there. I mean, I can't really complain.
Hold on.
You can sell yourself. It's just oozing out from you.
Sometimes I get really excited. I get really Brock Hard, so I just need a quick pump every once in a while. Just gotta.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yes.
You got it. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Now my mouth. Now my dick.
They're not ready for that one. You need to sign up for the OnlyFans before you see.
Yes. That's for the other side. I'm gonna bring it up to you right now. I haven't talked about this with Hank, but I'm gonna talk directly to you because they're not our masters. We are the individuals. We gotta. I'm just saying.
We must.
Brock Hard meets Sir Oreo, Eiffel Tower, Pornhub.
We're going to go on tour too. People don't know one day when the time is right. I mean, it took me years to grow this glorious hair. I'm not sure what that Party City comment was. Clearly, this is my real hair. People think it's weird to see hair like this and skin like this, but I'm clearly an anomaly. And, you know, I think being an individual is just so important because you have to be yourself. You can't be anybody else. And if you're not the light to be yourself, how will anybody else be inspired by or see you? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? My glorious locks define my personality, and I walk around with glorious hair, and both men and women wish they had my hair.
Jealous.
It's just really good to be me. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. Get to help out the Peace Dealer and his fans and his followers. And, you know, I'm very grateful that both of you, all of you, put in good work for me. You have called out. So, yeah, I have very enlightened hair. Very enlightened hair. I have to stroke it so it more gloriously expresses through. But Brock Hard, what is good advice when you're just not feeling like yourself and you need that inspiration to be yourself in moments where you just don't feel like being yourself?
You know, I love this question, Sir Oreo. You know, I say it. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. A gentleman and a scholar. 1000%. I think the best advice I could tell somebody when they get into that rut is just take your time and step out of your comfort zone. For a good example, when Hank first became, I should say, when Hank first discovered me, Brock Hard, he had to bear something. And he had to do a lot of work to help me get to where I was at. You know, we train in Antarctica. We don't get cold. I'd never gotten cold in my life. I used to go out in 20-degree weather. I used to slide with seals and penguins. And I used to go out in Arctic in December like this. But how I got to who I was, it was all about the booty shorts. This is how.
Show that ass, Brockhard. Show that ass. We must see it. There we go.
This is how you get out. This is how you step into your true power. When you get out of your head and you decide to put yourself in a place of uncomfortability, you find who you truly are. And then you get back on that horse. And then you get Brockhard.
It took me so long to develop cringe immunity. I used to care about if people saw me talking to myself in public or dancing. Now I can dance like a total fool and catch people looking at me dancing and talking to myself and be totally okay with it. It's almost as if they were privileged to see the show I was putting on indirectly for them. And I call it cringe immunity. You grow into it. You no longer even feel the cringe. You just go along and do it. You let other people feel the cringe for you. And you know what I mean? If NPCs want to feel cringe, it just makes you more of a main character. And, you know, I don't want to get in my ego, but I like to use the term NPC to make myself feel more meaningful and important as a main character than other characters that are non-playable. But the only thing I have in common with an NPC is you cannot play me. You can't play me at all. Unfuckwittable. But
absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. I 1000% agree with you. You know, you're only an NPC until you truly wake up.
Yes. Yes.
When I remember one time I was out and about at a spa, booty shorts out. I don't even think I was wearing the vest, just the booty shorts, all oiled up. And I ran into these two older women. They were in like their 60s, 70s, nicest old gals. We had a lovely conversation. They asked me, was the baby oil real? I said, yes, it is,
yes,
ma'am.
it is.
And I was polite. And you want to know something? They enjoyed it. They loved seeing me in my true loving passion within myself.
Honestly,
a lot.
At that level, the real question is, what the fuck is fake baby oil? Like, if it wasn't real, what would you have on you? That was an interesting question.
It was an interesting question. I was a little confused as well. But you know what? I even invited them. I was like, hey, you guys want to come party with us?
No, this is pig oil. I don't need this is just grease I lathered on myself because I'm a hot piece of bacon.
That is the true purpose of being your true self. If I have a question. If you could chalk up one thing that you've done for yourself to come into your true individual power, what would it be?
You know what, Brockhard? I would say when everyone else gave up on me and made me feel that I was a complete weirdo, instead of being in denial, I realized that in and of itself is not enough for me to give up. And so if I am a complete weirdo, if I am a loser, I will be the greatest loser of all time. I'll be the greatest weirdo. I'll be so great of a loser, you'd be questioning who you are. Because if I'm a loser and I'm showing you up, then what does it mean for you who got shown up by a loser? I don't let labels define me. I let my actions do so. And so
That's right.
Inspired me to be more of a badass.
Brockhard actions.
Yes. And, you know, plus having this glorious hair just doesn't hurt at all. I mean, oh my God, can pet it all day. I love it. Love it indeed. Brockhard, honestly, you are a man on your own level in your own right. It's great to see you just living up to who you truly are. Honestly, my next question for you is, you know, how do you deal with haters? How do you deal with people who are just threatened by your self-expression? And, you know, some people think they're slick and throw shade, or some people may let their insecurities emerge. How do you deal with that?
How do you deal with that? Let's see. You know, when I first came and beckoned the call to the shorts, to the booty shorts, I had a lot of questions. You know, I was like, am I going to get arrested? One time I almost did, which I will definitely talk about later on. But there's a lot of people. When I first donned it and I went on Facebook one time, I actually had someone come up to me that from high school. They messaged me, and they literally said, "You disgust me." in those shorts. And you know what I said to them? You're welcome. Because it showed me that they were so insecure in themselves that they had to pick on somebody else.
Yes. Perfect answer. Perfect answer.
I accept
Perfect
the
answer.
hate right now. There are people in this chat, probably not right now, because everybody in the chat is the best. I love you. You stay Brock hard. But there are people who have tuned into this live and have left because they were insecure about themselves. Because they weren't ready for the Brock hard. They weren't ready for the piece, the Sir Beautiful Haired Oreo. It's okay to be weird. There's a saying, you're not for everyone. Own it.
Do you know what I noticed about that saying? You're not for anyone and you're not for everybody because you only deserve the fucking best.
Damn
Only the
straight.
best is for you. And that's why you're not for everyone, because not everyone is a winner. And only winners are who you're for. Only the best.
Absolutely.
It was a game changer once I realized that.
To those of you in the chat right now showing the love, y'all are Brock hard. Y'all are weird, and I already know y'all are fucking winning the highest, the most, the Brock hardest that you can be.
You better believe it. You better believe it. It's nothing but the truth. And I think it's going to take a few more years or time for people to understand how legendary this meeting is. But we just move forward. We just move forward. We don't relish on past victories. We just keep making more victories, and that's just what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a beautiful response. You allow people to express their ideas, and you let them know you're welcome. That I got you in your feelings. You're welcome. That you got to experience me, and if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even have felt a certain way. I literally produced your own emotions, so you're welcome that you got that, and I think that's amazing. I think that's very amazing.
You would be surprised at how many people I interacted with, professionals, scholars like yourself, independent contractors, gas station attendants that loved who I was.
GSA.
They knew who I was and they appreciated it. One time I went to a liquor store in booty shorts. There was men that looked at me strange. And I went to go grab some alcohol. And one brave soul talked to me and asked me, what's going on? And I explained to them that I was going to an anime convention and this was my cosplay. But this is also who I was. After that, more people talked to me because they were not afraid of me anymore. They were not afraid of the truth. They were not afraid of the weird and the unconventional. I walked out of there talking to men that probably never talked to another man in booty shorts before. Confident in themselves. Confident after talking to some guy in booty shorts. And you know what they said? You're cool. I talked to so many different people. The people that talked to me were sure and strong inside themselves. They were powerful, strong, Brock hard.
It's almost as if you channeled that essence to them. You know, it's very interesting. I get a lot of misconceptions about me. People don't know this is how I really talk. They think that I'm putting on an act on the accent. I think it's because the peace dealer looks so much like me. They think I look like the peace dealer. I don't look like Michael. Michael looks like me. I put Michael on in his style. And people don't know that I really talk like this. I don't know why people think I'm act. I've been like this my whole entire life. I was literally born out the womb with this hair. I came out of my mother's vagina with this full wig. The doctor called it an abnormality, but they don't understand. I'm just not from here like that. But you know, even the accent, you know, it's I don't understand. It is what it is, but I just let people think and believe what they want. I understand that my existence may be too much for people to understand or comprehend, and I allow people to process the way that they can, and it's non-judgment. It's non-judgment. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and I'm okay if people think that I'm faking the accent. I actually founded London. A lot of people don't know that. I founded Britain. I founded a part of Asia and most of Europe before it was even England. I just decided to, I'm actually kind of like a vampire. I don't age. I'm actually like beyond like 4,000
I've heard the
years
legends,
old.
the myths.
Yes. I'm not a day walker. Like I don't drink blood, but I just don't die. I don't age. It is what it is. I just happen to. That's why when I came across the peace dealer in this lifetime, it's like we bear striking resemblance, and I just knew
Almost
that.
like twin flames, soulmates.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know I'm actually Ralph Smart's half brother.
I knew it. I
Yes.
knew it. I saw a little bit of
Yeah.
Infinite Waters diving deep once
Yes.
again. I saw it. I
Infinite
saw that
Water
Brock hardness.
is my half brother. His family does not claim me that. If you were to ask him, they think that I'm some bastard child, but I'm distantly related to him. We have the same father, just different mothers. Just different mothers. And it's it's very amazing. Shout out to, I admire that man. Ralph Smart is such a legend, and he's doing such a good service to people. But there's so much mystery shouting my identity. I just, when you're such a high profile individual, you just get used to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really here for the fame. I've seen civilizations rise and fall, and one thing that I haven't seen are men who are hard like you, Brock. And
To beat the Brock hardest, I can Brock hard myself.
Thank you, and I just appreciate you shining your light. It's very much needed. Very much needed.
Thank you. I have a question. What is it like living with the peace dealer since you guys are roommates?
He does not shut the fuck up.
Oh,
He
what a
does not
Gemini.
fucking shut up. I'm talking about as soon as he wakes up. To sleep. I don't get a fucking thought in. It's torture. It's fucking torture. He puts on this persona that he's busy. All he does is talk and watch anime and procrastinate. It's fucking torture. But it is what it is. He has brilliant moments every now and then. I'll give him his kudos.
Good for
He's
him.
all right. He's all right.
He seems all right. I have not had the pleasure of coming face to face and meeting him, but he seems like quite the talker.
He's a cool dude. He's
also,
a cool dude.
yeah.
He knows how to have fun sometimes. He just talks so much. That's the only criticism. If he just learns not to have to say everything about everything, he doesn't even really make sense most of the time. But it is what it is. You kind of get used to it. It turns into white noise after a few years. But it is what it is. And how was it like living with Hank?
He's really cool, but God, he just won't stop. He just keeps moving. He just like literally every 5 seconds he's gotten up and moved someplace else. It's like all he is a 3 fire signs in one. I heard legends. I've taken his mom to the grocery store a time or two in my day, and I've asked her, what was it like with little Hank? And she said he was like 5 children in one.
Oh my God!
Never stopped moving. The legend had it that people they would just see blurs. One time they said they saw him crawling on the ceiling, laughing hysterically, enjoying himself, being Brock.
So Hank moves like Michael talks. Oh my God!
Yes, absolutely. See, actually, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't hang out. I don't think they should hang out, because with his talk, with Peace Dealer's talking and Hank's walking and moving around, it sounds like a dangerous tornado of flames to me.
Yeah, there we go. Ideas just surface and spread like cancer and just move forward. And ironically, shout out to cancer. By the way, the Peace Dealer is working with New Age Jar. New Age Jar, I've had the hugest crush with New Age Jar. That is my bae right there. If she wants some Sir Oreo loving, I will give her all of that and more. I've been seeing you, boo. The Peace Dealer needs to, hook me up with you, and that's all I'm going to say right there. Although there's so many beautiful honeys that follow the Peace Dealer as well, and I see y'all too. Keep shining on, goddesses, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I 1000%. New Age Jaw, she is beautiful and amazing and a great speaker. Her words are powerful. It's incredible. It always soothes my soul. It's incredible. It's wonderful. Thank you, New Edge Jaw, for gracing us with your incredibleness.
And she can most definitely get it every day of the week.
I hope that becomes a reality. I believe you could do it. I believe you could stay Brock hard throughout the whole thing.
I will see. And she may see too. We'll see. It is what it is. Other than that, Brock Hard, I'm very grateful. This was very amazing.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an honor and a blessing for me as well. Hopefully we will be able to come together again once again when Hank and the Peace Stealer decide to let us out of the closet.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even like doing visitations. You need at least $100,000 to feature me. But once he told me it was you, I was like, I'll do it for free.
I think what we need to do is appear in one of Peace Stealer's music videos. What do you think?
I think we do need a cameo. We might even have to collab together.
And I will bring the massage oil for us.
There we go. I might use lathering it on the scene. And if anything, which is very, very, very important. You are what we call a real nigga. You're a real nigga. Okay. That's what we see as. You're one of the realest niggas out of there.
That's the Brock hardest thing I've ever heard out of anybody's life. I don't like showing the Brock tears always, but in this instance, I think it's important because to be truly Brock hard, you must be Brock soft as well.
Yes, Lauryn Hill said it best. A real man is not afraid to acknowledge his emotions.
But never let him see you flaccid.
That only makes you harder. So I guess it's safe to assume you're a shower then.
Yes.
That's what's up. I am both a shower and a grower.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe in the music video.
All right, then. There we go.
Well, thank you all so much for making it to the Brock hardest peace talk ever. The first 2 hours I'm sure was wonderful, but right now these last 20 minutes have been the Brock hardest that has ever happened in my life, and hopefully in Sorio's life and on the Peace Stealers channel.
This is definitely legendary. Much. You all stay blessed as always, and I hope you take from this what you will, and you have a blessed weekend. And until next time, as the Peace Stealer says, you owe me episode 3, asshole. Peace.